Alrighty, there we go. I think I'm good, maybe. Perhaps. Oh boy. It's like physically feeling it, mentally I'm like, oh god. I think it's just because it's like, okay, am I really ready to show off the second half of Red Genie? And I'm like, it'll be fine. I think it's more, this is almost as much for me as it is for anyone, because I'm like, well, I'd like to have played through it on stream and also just to... I think just playing through it all the way to the true ending myself one more time before I kind of let it go would be nice. Like, okay, yeah, I think the game can rest. Like, it can be out there for the world, and I can... If someone wants me to come back and, like, talk about it, I can do so, and I can do other stuff, but... I think to some end, it's like, me playing through this is just as much for... It's almost more for me than anyone else. Alrighty. I did want to have the main theme play one time through, just partially for my sake, and also because I wanted to talk about it a little, because I think if I took out one repetition of the motif, I think the main theme would be even stronger. I still love it a lot, though. But I think it kind of goes for a little long, doesn't it? That's okay. It's probably still, even with that, it's like a personal gripe. I don't think there's nothing I can change about it, but it's like... some of the best music I've ever written, so... It's kind of why I wanted to give it a moment to like listen to it again, because alrighty, I'm gonna, because the music is a little, because the music and sound effects are a little loud in game, I needed to turn the audio back down, so let me go load. There we go. Alrighty. Me very quickly. Need to adjust audio again. Alrighty, I think that's good. Maybe. Should be fine. It should be fine. Oh yeah, I forgot I was already at the boss fight. I forgot. Alright. Hey man. I have a trip to I have a long trip back, so I should probably just get to this boss fight and get to it. Yeah, this is the boss fight I was talking about, though, that the design of the castle's upper levels is a little bit based around the design for his character that never got to be finished. So he ended up becoming a wizard of specific powers, as I would put it. And this guy's just a sleazeball, but it's okay. And he's awful. Yeah, he does. This is what it was, but like now, right? Is he actually turns into a dragon rather than being instead of being very large, he's just a dragon now. Alrighty, I forgot how to fight this guy, but I'll try to remember. I think it's wind. I think wind's what I should do. Oh yeah, effective on flying target. Hey, how's it going? I had to instantly click as I saw you live again. Hey, Ben. It's going pretty well. I'm playing through Red Genie, the, like, release version, as I can. It's been going really well, though. Let's see. Actually, I could go for this. But yeah, it's going really well. Oops. Actually, wait, do I have... I don't have a wind slash. That's not great. I have to think about that. But it's going well. How are you doing, though? This man's... Have you done the NPC quest where you get the buffing heal? That should help you out. I believe I'm pretty sure I did the... I'm doing great. Well, that's great to hear. Let's see. Oh boy, I forgot the sense of humor I had. So I think my sense of humor kept creeping in every time I was like, oh, I should take things seriously. He's like, no, be snide, be snarky. Which I think really helped out a lot. Let's see. I think this should do it. Well, it did a lot of damage. That's pretty good. I think the magic barrier is probably one of my best moves for this. Let's see. Hi, Fugitive, you got first today. How's it going? Yeah, the game audio is still a little loud. Hang on. I will adjust the game audio because it's still a little loud. Holy crap. It's mostly the sound effects that it's mostly just a mixing thing. It's not actually that they're super loud for me. It's just that it's a mixing thing that. Oh yeah, time for more Blue Warlock. I see. I'm gonna adjust it a little bit more. There we go. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I have Storm Crash. I'm gonna go for that. I love it when I think I just like it. One of the funniest after effects of how the game is built is that sometimes you get text like that and then stuff happens and then it's like, oh yeah, then we have to resolve certain things. So enemies will die after an effect happens. So it's like, oh, you knocked them prone and they died. Oops. I like that a lot. It's very funny. I think Breath of Winter might finish it up. It almost did. That was pretty good. Oh, I nullified. What? Oh, yeah, that's right. Higher level slings. Doi. I forgot. Oh, wait. You know what I might be able to do? I might be able to get away with this. I might be able to get away with this. This is mean of me. Yeah, I was like, well, die here. Dies here. He doesn't get a choice in that matter. That's the point. That's the best part. White Keystone. Oh, I got the Blizzard Sling. That's actually kind of hype. When was the last time I ever got the Blizzard Sling in game? Like without you know, like lagging an RPG. This man's lagging. Well, he's moving slow. That's not a lag. That's just him moving slow because he's a weak little baby. Nah, we're throwing him. We're gonna throw him off. We're gonna throw him off. All right, see you later, buddy. And we got the powerful spells, which are very good. Smirk always gets me. I remember my brother said something about it, and he was like, "Yeah, that smirk is just like, wow." It's like, yeah, he's kind of a jerk when it comes to that thing, but it's like it's very funny. Alrighty, it's daytime now. I of all things, I'm happy that the daytime transition looks really cool. I don't know, I like it. Also, just should run through the game again after some updates. I did do some minor updates. I did some small stuff to fix up some things, some little things that some people caught, which I've been very grateful that, like, if somebody finds a minor, like something small or something that's like, oh hey, it's like I think game balancing wise, I'm like, I don't know if I could change a ton without really like disrupting the original game design of the game, but I do think there are some things that's like, oh yeah, this is just really good. Let's see. Oh, we have chain lightning. We have chain lightning. Do I have any other spells? I have Acid Wave. Oh, that's right. We have Acid Wave now. Death. Death and Pestilence. Excellent. One thing I didn't talk about design-wise was the ability to click on the screen to be able to move. Mostly just because it's the pathfinding is a little temperamental, but it's very cool. It's very helpful as a thing. Because if you know where you're going and you use it, you get a handle on how to use it. It can actually make things really cool. You can do some really cool stuff with the movement. It's very cool. You can do some movement, as they say. Let's see. That is a thing since day one release. Yes. But it's interesting because some areas I found it works very well, and other areas I found it does not work very well, which I thought was fun to look at because I did try to make it so it was usable in multiple spots, but it's a little bit like, sometimes it works better than others. Let's see. I think I can do... I can do Venom Slash, that'd be cool. But there's a lot of stuff that I've been like, there's a lot of stuff that's in the game that I feel like is fun to discover more than me just being able to just like throw it to people. Ow. Ow. There we go. Ow. Because there's, I think of all things, the thing I wanted to do with this playthrough was both give like a pretty clear, like make sure that if people wanted to like want a guide, it's like it can serve as a guide to like, you know, if you want to get to the true ending, you can find it. But I didn't want to reveal everything, right? Because that is something I didn't want to do is, okay, here's every secret that's in the game, right? Let's see, technique. I think I want to do Mediguard. But yeah, it's something that I was thinking about when I was planning to do this playthrough was, okay, how much am I going to do and how much am I going to show off? Because I really didn't want to show everything. Because there are some side quests, like, there are certain characters who have quest lines, like, you know, quest lines that's like, oh yeah, you talk to them after you do certain parts of the game, and you can further a storyline that I kind of wanted to leave for players to discover, because there are some things I wanted to show here. Like, I think the true ending, making sure that people at least knew, like, you know, how I path it out, so it's a little bit easier for them. That would be nice, but I like the most required. Let's see. Oh god. Well, I have a ton of magic now, so I can spam. I have magic. Let's see. I think I want to do Earth Dynamo. Hit him. Of all the things that I think about with this game, I think one of the things I did very well was the element variety. I think was something that I appreciate, and I know other people appreciated it too. Was it's not just here's fire, ice, lightning, and then maybe, oh, for feeling spicy, a little bit of light and dark magic. Oh, hey, the Twilight Recurve bow. When was the last time I saw this thing? That's pretty good damage, but I like my agility and luck. I think I'm gonna keep that. I also just keep the Greenwalker bow for my sake. There was something I missed on the way over though that I wanted to go get. It's in this wing. I'm gonna run away. I'm going to run away because I know where I'm going. I'm gonna go this way. Here it is. Oh yeah, this item. It's really hard to see, and it bothers me because it's hard to see, but it's also like, well, learn Diffraction Ray. I wanted to get that, so let's see. Blizzard Sling. This one has better magic defense, but this one has better magic attack. I think I'll swap to the Blizzard Sling. It's pretty good. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into, and I see the carpet has been changed, kind of overly saturated for a castle. A little, but there was a reason for it, and it's mostly because that wing is very cleaned up. Like, the whole point of that wing is it's supposed to be just almost perturbingly cleaned up. So I wanted to leave it very sterile because of that. And that's because I thought it would be... It's one of those things that, from my own interpretation of the story, the reason that it's like that is because that wing of the castle is very, you know, kept together, very clean, very almost obsessively cleaned, because it's supposed to be like the tea parlor. Like, the rest of them are less saturated because they're well-worn walkways, you know? They're places that people walk all the time, and they're places that people are going to be a lot. All right, sounds nice. Yeah, but of course it's like a lot of what this game, I did, which I think is both to to the game's detriment and to its benefit, is that I left things for players to interpret. Like, okay, like that. Like, okay, well, why would this place be really sterile and very saturated? Well, maybe people don't walk here very often. But if somebody doesn't come to that conclusion, it's just gonna be like, okay, well, it just looks different. And at times, I think at times, to my detriment sometimes, and sometimes to the game's detriment, was I approached it like an author, where it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave. I want the player to come to their own conclusions, because I felt like it was nice to let the player do that. So I think sometimes, at least for me personally, I think sometimes I feel a little bit too talked down to, because I think sometimes if like writers get a little bit scared that the player won't get it, so they overdo the explanation. See, oh yeah, that's right, he's here. Hello. I forgot that you were alive. I kind of forgot about you, to be honest. Sorry, Adjust, but I forgot that you exist. So it's funny because this guy really is the epitome of the, oh yeah, you forgot. Hi, it's our Genie Day. Yes, it is. We're already schmoovin', but I feel very good about it. All right, I'm gonna blast this man real quick. Send him to death. He actually has a quest line. I did a side quest stuff. Actually, his quest line's funny because it's like, it's one of those ones where when you go and find him, it's funny to me because, oh, hey, this is a character that, let's see, I need to go back to, yeah, his quest is cool. I like it. It's one of those things that it was because when I was designing it, I was at the time, it was it this year? Yeah, it was this. Was it this year? My brain is just like, okay, wait a minute. Is that, I'm gonna check that actually, because now I'm like, when, because I was playing Shadow of the Colossus when I designed it, and that's why I'm like, wait, when was that? Because I thought it was this year, but now I'm like, Shadow, title contains Shadow of the Colossus. That was, yeah, it was this year, it was January, that's right. Yeah, it was just like, I haven't thought about it in such a long time, right? Like, oh, it was in January that I played Shadow of the Colossus. Oh my god, that feels weird. Because I played Shadow of the Colossus and I was designing this questline and I was like, oh wait, I really like what this game does in terms of, specifically in terms of what it's doing for the way that the player is led. It's like, because I think at times gamers are very easy, not to trick per se, but I feel like trick is the right word. Because it is kind of like, yeah, like gamers are pretty easy. It's like, oh, just give them a quest line and let them just like go. And more often than not, players are going to be, frankly, they will follow you. They don't believe that the game designer, the storyteller, would ever lie to them. Which I find funny, in a way, because it feels almost like, no, I'm pretty sure players wouldn't. Oh, hey. Oh, hey, clown. What do you have? We're in Toxin Storm. Oh, yeah, I bury him. All right, sorry, buddy. See you later. But it's something that I learned from playing Shadow of the Colossus is that, and it's something that gave me confidence to do this tactic. Oh, God. Hi. I think you're going to be easier because I'm a little bit ahead, but I don't know. Never mind, you're not easier. Okay. Trying to think. My brain is like, wait a minute. But there's a... It was a transformative thing for me for being confident enough to say, oh yeah, you can just be you can just kind of do that to players. You can just kind of say, here's the truth. And then they say, oh, I'll believe you at face value. And they're never under any inclination to disbelieve you, right? Which I think is funny. I don't know, it sounds weird, but it's one of those things that I find fascinating. Okay, and then use Sacred Arrow. That was a pretty solid combo. Oh, I got the Chimera Whip too. Nice. But it was something that, as a storyteller and as a designer, I felt like I needed to see it in action to say, oh yeah, you can just, your narration is as reliable, can be reliable, but you are not under any oath to be like, oh yeah, everything that you see and say and everything that you hear someone say is the 100% truth. Which, you know, it's like, no, duh, there are liars in fiction, of course, but I feel like in video games, it's almost less often that you're gonna have a narrator or a storyteller who is, like, it's less often that you have those telling you, like, yeah, here's what I'm gonna tell you, and then it's a misdirection. And I think that's because a lot of times with games, it's like, oh yeah, the twists come with they come in a different way, you know? I say less often. It's not like it doesn't happen, of course, because there are plenty of examples where, yeah, it's like the story, the character, but a lot of it's more the characters, you know, like it's active characters in the plot making decisions rather than the story itself saying, hey, we're going to lie. And that will retroactively reframe some things. I think that's just interesting. Alrighty, we're back in town. Okay, I do need to go see, I want to go see the wizard. I want to go see Naomi. But yeah, like, Diantha there, the blonde right there. Alright, let's go say hi. Hi, Naomi. All of the keystones. Manage push into them, they activate. However, alone, they have some traits. Regardless, you need to do two things for them to work for our purpose. And need to be brought to a place central to the plane to have maximum power. Will need to be used on a certain entity. And this is, I feel like this is something that if you've played the game before, then it's good to go through the cutscenes in order. If you just skip things, then it's like, yeah, you'll miss stuff, and it's like, oh yeah. Which I think it's an oversight for me to not force the player to go see people on quest lines. It was an oversight for me because I had the realization that for people who are replaying the game, who have, you know, if you've read the same cutscene and you've read through the dialogue, you know, like you've read through it 2 or 3 times, it's like, well, if you want to just zoom through the game to find your favorite fights, I didn't want to be in your way for doing that, right? Which is also why, you know, like the fast forwarding of cutscenes, you're able to do that. And I never wanted to quote fix it, but also I also wanted to do it in a way that it's kind of like with Dark Souls 1, where it's like, okay, there are certain people you have to talk to, and you can have these certain conversations along the way, and that will flesh out the story and the world you're in, but it's not like 100%, it's not required of you to go through that again, right? And we need to set things right. And this is a goodbye for now. I will say I feel like this is a little bit of me being like, no, I like this statement, and giving it to Naomi was kind of my touch on the story. It was like, no, I'm gonna give that phrase goodbye, you know, goodbye for now. I like that phrasing a lot. It's why I end my streams with it. So it's like giving it to Naomi was kind of nice for me. Bouquet of enchanted flowers. Alrighty. So, the bouquet of flowers is because, yeah, you're going somewhere difficult. So, I guess funny thing, the reason why these are out of order is because I made the Lucky Shamrock first, and then thought, oh, I should probably make a version of this stat-raising item for, you know, the entire, for every stat. And it was only after I made the luck one, and I couldn't, like, rearrange it because of how I made the game. It was just like, okay, really? The one thing with RPG Maker databases is that you can't, it's very hard to rearrange things in the database if you build the game in one way, right? So it can be a little bit like, well, you have to move things around, you have to rearrange everything. And I know for the sequel, which there will be one day. I don't think it'll be this year or even next year. I will make a sequel to Red Genie, but I don't know when it'll be. But I know that when I do, I am going to reorganize the database so it's a lot more readable, if I'm being honest. I do hope I know that I also planned to, you know, you're going to have a traditional party in the sequel, because if you've played the game and you know the story, you're going to have a party. You're going to have multiple people to play with. And all right, let's see. I'm going to raise luck, and I'm going to keep these for later, but I'm going to raise attack. I'm going to raise defense, raise magical defense. I'm going to raise agility, and then I'm going to leave these for later. I have an idea for these. Okay, I'm going to go to the inn. I need to go to the inn really quick. But, like, it's something I've thought about. Like, okay, well, if I were to make, you know, when I make the next game, it's like, okay, what would I like to improve on? I know the UI, I think the UI, like, making the menus, in my opinion, nicer would be one of my first moves. Is I would like to make the shop UIs way better, because, man, I think that is one thing where I'm like, the shop UI, like, I'd almost rather get rid of the comparison slot, like, where it shows the comparison between your weapon and that weapon, and just have, okay, here's the weapon stats and its description, and that's it. And with items, it's just like, okay, the item shop is fine, and some of the other ones are fine, but I actually think I'm probably going to stick with the art style that I've established here, where it's just use RPG Maker assets and make some alterations to the art style, and that's how I'm going to do it, because it would keep the two games closer together in terms of art. I know the next game I'm doing, I'm not going to do that, because I'm going to be doing the artwork myself, which I think will be fascinating as a challenge. But hey, Noah, explain what happened in Enon. And the true ending's on, so we have Lord of Nazi, the dead or crazy. Realm has fallen apart rather quickly. I know your power's grown immensely. Yeah, it's true to be the end of our realm as we know it. I have the means to save everyone. I just need the keystones. They'll still perish at least once. And this is... see this to its end. So I guess interesting thing about this mine that he's talking about, the mine that's on the way over. I actually originally planned to make it... I actually originally planned to make that area its own, like, a whole other dungeon, but I wasn't really able to make it work the way I wanted to. Because then it was like, okay, well, then you can just run all the way back to the village. And I came up with in my opinion, a better solution, but I had the thought that it's like, yeah, it's really hard to make that work the way I wanted to. Alrighty. I probably should have gotten a better hammer and stuff, but it'll be fine. But some of the area designs, I think sometimes I was like, well, I probably... looking at it, I think I did fairly well on terms of area design. I think sometimes I need to practice more. I need to refine my skills a little bit more. And I think this game did a lot to improve my level design, because a lot of it is really well done, I think, but there's also a fair bit where it's like, well, there's some places that could have been a little smaller, in my opinion. All right, we got the Rosewind axe, which I don't think I've swapped my axe until... yep, all right, we now have this one. And the Rosewind axe is actually named after a song I wrote. Because I wrote a song called Rosewind, and it's still up there as one of my favorite things I've ever written. Along with another song that's actually in Red Genie that I'm going to talk about because I really like it, and it makes me happy. But also... I really like, because I think the music was the thing that I spent the most time deliberating on, because I wanted the music to be really as much a part of the story as all of my dialogue. And for those with a keen ear and for a mind to listen, I think it really rewards. I think it rewards people to, when they, like, if they know what they're listening for, I think it rewards them, you know? Oh, wait, I'm burned. That's right. I forgot. I forgot. Magic. Where's Restore? I always forget. Restore gets kind of shoved down a little bit when... after a certain point. That's because I added Restore much later into Forgore. I like the term Forgore. I don't know. It's very funny. I don't know when I started saying it. I think I must have heard it in... I think it was a... I don't remember. I think I first heard it in like a Lythero video or something. The guy heard it because I think I just remember him saying someone saying I forgore. And I just thought it was very funny. Oh god. Oh wait, I have the really nice spear. I should use that. I'm a fan of the spear in this game. It's funny because I think one of the more interesting things for me is that I added spears because I liked... Oh crap, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. But I liked spears, and I actually added the spear because my brother really likes halberds and Dark Souls. And he really likes pole arms in like RPGs, right? And I was just like, no, I kind of want a whole pole arm division in the game, just because it's like, yeah, well, yeah, it's cool and it's fun. And I wanted to add it for that sake, because I like that. And also because I like that each weapon is its own you know, play style, as it were. Because if you really focus on one weapon, you can focus in on a certain play style, and by mixing them, you end up with your complete play style. You end up with you end up with a full play style when you have all of them. Also, yeah, this fence is built so weird. I really did design it just because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna... Also, I like that he rolls a 1 on the stealth check. I don't know why, I really like the soldier designs. I like the soldier designs that RPG Maker already has, like the default ones. They're very funny. But they're also really good, because, like, look at them. They look good. Some good armor. Feel like full armor is something people don't appreciate as much. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna wear this asymmetrical armor, and I'm like, no, have some good knight's armor. Because it's actually something that I really like about it's Honkai Star Rails, the Belobog Knights, like the guards. Silvermane guards have the captains. That armor is aesthetic as heck. The captains have such good armor. It looks very cool. They're very tall too. And I love that these guys just show up. I love if you fast forward this cutscene, they get jumbled like crazy, and it's very funny. Also, yeah, this is one of those I actually have a fun story about this song, but I'll mention it. I'll talk about it after I get whooped. I think I'm about to get whooped immediately. Which is technically a speedrunning strat. Technically a speedrunning strat to get through this fight faster is to lose quickly. But for those who, you know, play the game and you can listen to the song, I do plan on putting the entire soundtrack on Spotify at some point. I need to package it, which is going to take me probably a full like couple days, because I need to I want to make it so it has like, you know, 2 repeats and then it fades out. You know, you gotta, because I don't want to just leave you with like, oh yeah, you only get like 1 repeat and then it fades out. It's like, that's lame. It's like, oh, it's a minute and a half of music. Like, really? You want 2 repeats of the song if you're gonna have a soundtrack of a video game on, you know, like you're gonna listen to the album. You want each song to have 2 repeats, right? You know, it's... But, that song, because the original song was already inspired by, there's a piece of music from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories that it's like the before you fight music, and it sounds very similar to this, but I really liked in that game, there was a fight in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. There's a fight with Cloud, like Final Fantasy Cloud, where it plays that music for the whole fight, and that's it. And it's very different from any other fight music in the game, because it's like, oh yeah. And I think the only other time they do something like that is when you're in Monstro. I think It's very weird, but there's another fight. There's only one other fight that does that. And I really liked it. So I was like, well, what if I just take the, you know, pre-fight music, evolve it into its own battle theme, and use it and do it that way? Because I thought that was really cool. And jump. And then he just face plants into a bridge. I love that. I love that. Oh, hey, buddy. Hey, Trajan. Also, this character, man, I love him. He's one of my favorite I've written. He's one of my favorite I've ever written, and it's mostly just because he's such a goober. I love him. Like, he's very serious as a character, but also I just like that in a way I pulled from a lot of different sources. Inadvertently, you know, analyzing him now, you know, like looking at what he does in the game, he almost, it's like in a weird way, he becomes a mentor that you don't want, which I think is interesting. I'm gonna take the red. I'll take red. All right. See you later. But I think it's interesting because I don't think I intended him, you know, thinking about how I wrote the character and what I was thinking, you know, when I did that. I don't have the exact thoughts, but I know that I didn't purposefully intend to make him anything more than an adversary. Like, you know, it's like, in a way, he's meant to be adversarial, but let's see, do I want to have higher attack for my bow? I'm good. I have to look. I have to read. But I think that the way that I made him as a character, I thought was interesting because a lot of it's working from instinct, right? Where it's this, I'm working from what I instinctively, I'm drawn to it for writing a character of this type. Where it's like, okay, this is a guy who clearly a lot stronger than the other lords. He's, you know, he's supposed to be. He's, you know, pretty much like, it's one of the like last thing like bosses you ever deal with. And I kind of like that he's, despite being like, you know, in a way in the way, it's interesting that he's friendlier. Because I find that interesting. Because it's a different dynamic than you've had with the other lords. Because the other lords is kind of like you show up and they're already adversarial. And I like that, I think, and it's also why the characters, the other reason is because the introductory dungeon, the one that you do as a tutorial, it's formatted the same way as the full game. Like when you go through each of these areas, each lord, each of them are built in a way the same way as, it's built the same way as the original, as the like that first dungeon, where you have two bosses that are really, they really want to be there and they're meant to be there, right? These are, you know, okay, did I win? Yeah. They're characters that are, and they're adversaries that are almost, they're like meant to be in the way. And it's that third boss fight that's like, well, you're not part of the system of this dungeon, right? Because like the Minotaur and the Mage, they were there. They were given the keystones and they were there. They, you know, they have the same, they share similar music. And they share a lot of things in common. And then the demon spider's just like, well, he's just there and he stole the keystone. He's not supposed to be there. He's an anomaly. And he's also, frankly, just like he's also the most intense of the fights. I did that here on purpose as well because I really liked that. I really liked that I like that idea of having it rhyme, you know, having it, you know, repeat in that way. So I think that's really interesting. We have the Exalt Sword. I think that means we have all the element slashes. We do. That's cool. Might need to turn the music back down again, but if the audio is good for you guys, then I'll leave it, but I didn't want to like adjust it. I don't want to turn it down too much either. Ow. Okay, I need to heal. Strong health potion. It's funny because now thinking about it, it's interesting how much of the music has aspects of other things that I know, but not exactly like as in I took it from a place, but more that I was inspired by the same stylings. Let's see, we won't do that. Yep. And then drink a magic potion. Keep me going for a while. I almost forgot to save. I've been very bad about this playthrough, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just because I've been going fast. I'm like, oh, I should probably be a little bit more careful. But I like I think, and it's something I made decisions on, was just having, I wanted this to be a game that I would also want to be playing for hours and hours and hours, and I did make that. I completed that, where this is a game that I like playing just as much as I enjoy, you know, the fact that I made it. And I really like that. That's something I always, I'm of the mind that not only should I be able to play it, you know, I should be able to finish it myself, but I also think that genuinely, I think it's like, oh yeah, I shouldn't just be able to finish the game. I should also enjoy the game. Because my philosophy for making games is if I can't beat the game myself, I almost feel like that doesn't seem fair, does it? Like, oh yeah, you didn't beat the game yourself, but you expect others to do so. It's like, really? Are you sure? I don't know. That seems weird. I do know there is something I can get while we're here. Yeah, here it is. Also, I guess just weird thing. I like when, I don't know why, but I like when dungeons in games have the white walls and the Roman pillars. Because I remember Zelda 2, the, you know, like the Link's Adventure. I remember, first off, I really like that game, but also I really like the aesthetic of, you know, the sterile walls, like the Roman walls and stuff. Oh yeah, there's Xander Emra. So it's not a book better suited as a pillow. That's how I feel about physics books. Physics textbooks, man, they can put me to sleep real fast. And spell diagram here, and because you're doing the true ending, you can get the spell. If you're not doing the true ending, you get a different spell. You have to get something different for this. But you do get you get the spell from this. You do get the MP though, but you don't. Oh, that's right. No, you get the maximum MP bonus, but you don't get, because now we have more MP. But you don't get the spell if you're not doing the true ending, which is on purpose. It's very cool. I really like it. Alrighty. Yeah, there are a lot of... I've had to speedrun the game a lot of times, so some stuff I added was with the intent of, oh yeah, if somebody ever wanted to speedrun this, I wanted to make it as seamless as possible. Oh yeah, these are the undead. So, fun fact about this, the undead archers were supposed to be skeletons as well. I just never got around to getting that. Like, I didn't have time to do artwork for that and get that artwork made, so we weren't able to finish that. So that's like, oh yeah. So what we did instead was we did something where it's like, I just took like the artwork from another asset and did like a, you know, RPG Maker's really cool with this, where you can take a slider and shift to the hue, so you can actually change the colors of one asset and make about 5 different enemies out of one. You know, it's like, because in old school RPGs you had like, oh yeah, you have the you know, like the red dragon, and then you have blue, green, like a yellow and a purple one maybe. But it's like, you just kind of change the color scheme and they're like, oh yeah, it's a new enemy. And it's almost welcome when you see something like that, because it's nice when you, like, it's almost familiar, because like, okay, this is a new version of the enemy, because they have different abilities and maybe some different resistances, but you can tell that they're similar in other ways, which I think is really helpful. That's a fun way to... It helps you retain the knowledge that you formed earlier. Like, oh yeah, bats are weak to this damage, so all other bats are going to be at least generally weak to similar types of damage. Hi, buddy. Also, I have I love this. This thing, it's like, may I ask a question? And you just did. This, along with some of the other writing, is just because I feel like I get snarky when I'm writing sometimes. And I appreciate, and I still like it. It still makes me laugh. I like that he just is like, yeah, I kind of, it's like, can I ask a question? You just did. All right, well, how about another one? I like that. I don't know. It's like, it's a silly joke, but it's fun. Let me get to the real question. What do you fight for? And save this entire realm and the world at large. And the two of them get to talk to each other. It's nice. And Trajan. I think one thing, if I could ever figure out how to do it, I don't know how you would even do it in RPG Maker, but I like it when you have, you know, you have the little box, you have the little frame around the character, you know, when you have like the picture. I'd also like it if underneath them they have the name. Well, I know some characters' names, it's like, oh, you'd have to do only first name, but it's like, I like that. And I like that these two fight, but I feel like I am going to get... Ah, yeah, I'm gonna get cooked. Am I gonna get cooked? I don't know. I think I can win this, but never mind. I forgot. This man is built. This man is built like a fortress. I forgot. I'm gonna advance guard. I feel like in my head it'd be nice to beat him with just the sword. I just want to see if I can actually beat him. I don't want to use too many resources, but I do want to see what I can do. Just gonna use the sword and see what I can do. This fight, there's no they're like the fights with Trajan are not you can lose them without, you know, consequence, but it's still like, again, another speedrun strat is to lose to him on purpose, but I also am like, I think it's cool when you do get to put up a fight, but I love him a lot. He's very cool. He's so good. I actually made him harder over playtesting. Every time I playtested his fights, he got a little bit stronger, and until he got to where he is, you know, in the final game, I continuously, you know, workshopped, and I was like, no, he needs to be a harder fight. It needs to be a harder fight. It needs to be a harder fight. And I really like that. I don't know. I think he's the fight that if you found the rest of the game to be, you know, pretty easy, this is the fight. It's like, yeah, no, this is the one where it's like, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, this guy is not messing around. He is here to no meme, he is here to kill you. Which I think it's fun, because I think it's a fight that I think a lot of people are looking for in this game. I think it's the AI, I say AI, but they actually have a in RPG Maker there's an AI level, and most entities are averaged at 80 if you don't set the number. I actually was pretty good about manually setting the AI level, and as you go through the game, the AI level gets higher, and they actually do have the ability to check for what damage types you're weaker to, which is really cool, because there are some armor types that will make you, you know, stronger and weaker towards certain damages, and the game does react to it. It's just, it doesn't directly tell you, it doesn't say, which I think is more fun, because I'm always of the mind that if the player can experiment and learn, and they get to have the chance to learn it, that's more fun than just being told, yeah, here's how damage works. Also, the snow in battle was something that I really wanted to get working, and I'm happy it does. It makes me very happy. It's very silly, but I really like it, because it's very cool, in my opinion. I think that yeah, that's gonna hurt. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna just go for the wizard. The wizard! Kill him. Oh, I missed. Oh, is he gonna do both? He almost did. But it's something that I really like it. I don't know. It just makes me happy. Okay, he's focused. That's not good. I need to... I don't know when I got this, but that's really good. I'm gonna keep that for later. Is he focusing? He's focused squared. Holy crap. Man's just focused squared. I don't like that. Yeah, one of the other things that I was a little bit like, I should probably figure out how to adjust this, is that you can't have, it has a priority thing for the status ailments. You know, at the bottom there, it has the priority, and I'm not a big fan of it not showing you certain, like, all of your statuses, like, you know, higher defense. It doesn't show everything, but I also recognize that if it showed all of your statuses at the same time, it would end up looking a lot like, you know, when you played old school Call of Duty Zombies, for anyone who played World at War Zombies, and you had all of the perks, you had all the perk sodas, and it just looks like a mess of icons at the bottom of your screen. I wanted to avoid that, so I made sure, so them having priority was fine, but I was kind of like, I would kind of prefer it if it didn't look like that, but it's okay. There were some things I had to compromise on just so I could, you know, I could sleep at night. Uh-oh, what did I do? I broke the game. I think I mashed the buttons too much. Hang on, I mashed the buttons too much. I think I saved, though. I think I saved. I don't know what happened there, so that might be just a game just did not enjoy me at all. Oh god. Oh, it did the thing. Pish posh. Hang on, I had a crash. Need a fix. That might be because my computer's been running for a very long time today. Like, not even kidding. My computer's been running a very long time today. So that might be... that's on me. Okay. Yep, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, there have been times where well, today I had to have my computer running for a long time because I may or may not have been editing and having to upload the VOD from yesterday's Pokemon Stadium stream, so I had that on for a while. But also, I know RPG Maker can have one issue it can have, which is something that web browsers and web-centric games, which technically this game is using some very advanced versions of web-styled code to do, is it does have one weakness, and that is that it can cause some memory issues. I was just adjusting the window. There we go. Back from meeting. That's good. We're on the second fight with Trajan. I was talking about the one thing that RPG Maker has an issue with is sometimes it can have memory leaks, which is a little rough, but it's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing ever, but it's also like it can be awkward. And it's a little bit awkward just because sometimes it's like, no matter how much optimization I did on Red Genie, how much I did to work on the game, there would always be at least a time when you know, the game will just randomly crash. Sometimes the game just decides, hey, I'm done making new images. But yeah, these guys are chit-chatting. Not really chit-chatting. Damn, it's annoying. Well, and it's something that I just, you know, you can't really like, it's just something that it happens with any, the larger a system you make, the more likely it's going to happen. I think I'm just gonna throw hands and throw the fight, but we'll see. But it's something that, like, other engines and other games have just as bad an issue of it, where you just end up having, yeah, you just, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, you know, you're playing the game for long enough and sometimes it just loses it, right? Ow. But it is something that, like, the more code you write and the more things you do, it is harder and harder to avoid making, like, having an issue with a memory leak, or having the computer just say, okay, I've been running for long enough, I'm just gonna like, I'm done, I'm over it, you know? Okay, I'm gonna check my experience really quick. Because I don't remember if I... Skill... I need to check my experience, because how much do I have? To next level. Oh, well, level up one more time. But it is something that... It happens with Unity games, it happens with Unreal games, it happens with Bethesda games, it happens with basically any game that's open world or has more decisions than, you know, just like a linear line. Like, any game can have fatal crashes. It's, you know, it's just part of when you're playing games. Like, heck, just personal anecdote, I've played Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, fantastic game, absolutely wonderful game. That game has crashed more times in the last week than I have seen, like, some games crash in a month, in like half a year, you know? It's just, but they updated some stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, now the game is just going nuts with, it just breaks. There are so many dudes. I am going to Earth Dynamo. But it's something that it's very hard to avoid if you want to make a game of a larger scale. And the larger the game, the more possible it is that it'll happen, you know? Like, as much as we'd love to, like, avoid, because we all want to avoid that sort of thing happening, right? But we can't avoid it. You know, there are certain things where it's like, well, if you're gonna make a game of this size, you are always going to be at the mercy of the game having an issue. I think I have enough to do one more spark. Oh, no, yeah, I do. But it's something that I learned when I was in college, is that every engine has weaknesses, and it can be very hard to avoid them, but it's also just part of, you know, it's part of that workflow is, okay, we're going to try and minimize the issues. And I've did my best to minimize the issues of RPG Maker, namely by actively, God bless America. No, I wanted to keep running. But, it's actually specifically why I didn't want to bloat the game and its files with a bunch of plugins. I had to be very, you know, cognizant and aware of, okay, well, you know, how many am I going to use? What plugins am I using? And am I going to use them for more than just one thing? Because that's something that sometimes I saw with other RPG Maker games, is that, and it's that they include things without thinking about why they include things. I actually had I think I mentioned it a little bit yesterday with the Pokemon Stadium stream. I was talking about, it's like, sometimes it's like that quote from Jurassic Park. Your scientists were so caught up in whether or not it's RPG Maker low code. Well, it's like there's the plugins, some of them are, but RPG Maker's code is not watertight. It's really good, but it's not watertight. And that's just because of the nature of the system it's running in. Yeah, some events need certain stuff to not make it eat too much memory. Yes. And that's something that you need to be aware of and careful of when you're making a game in RPG Maker, is just, okay, how much is the computer using? How much are you doing? I was really, like, trying to keep maps, like, specifically map sizes. That's why a lot of RPG Maker games make maps either smaller or they make a lot of them. Because making them smaller means that the game will have less... It has less issue when it has less things on screen. Like, it has to worry about rendering at any given time. I haven't checked how many variables can be changed at one time without making it lag yet. It's funny because I've tested it, basically, actually, Ben, which is very funny. Because there's a part of the game where it actually does change, like, 90 flags when you land in Krenui, but the reason you can't tell it lags in that particular spot, excuse me, is because the screen is pitch black, because you're getting transported to the next map. And because the screen is black, you cannot see the lag that it does. I have actually seen what happens when it does that. It is very weird. It is a little wonky when it does that, so... It is definitely something that I'm happy that I was able to avoid people seeing. Because of all things, yeah, give the engine time and by fading out and back in, yes. It's actually something I do a number of times in this game, is if I can cover a transition with enough time and a color, like a, you know, like a fade out or a black screen or something, it masks it. Uber Eats has a discount for vegetarian. Have you thought of going vegetarian? Have I ever thought of going vegetarian? No. But it's interesting that you, like, it's very out of left field, Julian, but I do think it's interesting because I can tie this into game design somehow. It's gonna sound weird. Like, some life choices, like, you know, it's like, if you think about it, it's like, okay, is it ethical, it's like, I don't know, it's like, if I went vegetarian, I don't know, it's like, I believe in a balanced diet, and also I just, you know, like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff in choosing your diet, and I think in some ways it's almost like, hey man, I'm gonna sound like really daft for saying it, but it's a lot like when you're making choices for your design principles. It's like, you're never right or wrong, but it's like, but do you make it, does it fulfill you? Does it fulfill your needs? Does it fulfill your wants? And are you enjoying it? Like, it's like needs, wants, and is it spiritually fulfilling? Like, for me, I'm omnivorous as heck, but I'm thinking of that quote from Teen Titans. It's like, I respect that you eat fake meat. Please respect my desire to not eat fake meat. Like, it's like, I think, like, stuff like your, like, how you, like, what you eat and what you decide to do with yourself, as long as you're not telling other people that they have to do it with you, it's like, you know, it's like, oh, all of them are fine. Like, as much as vegans get a bad rap, it's like, oh yeah, it's like, I've known people who are vegan, and it's like, they just preferred it. They just were like, yeah, I just, you know, it's like some people I knew who were vegan where it was not by choice. It was actually because their body physically can't digest some stuff, which is, you know, like a whole other thing. That's a whole other mess. But yeah, I think it's interesting to, it's funny because now I'm thinking about it. It's like, it's really good now and then to reflect on, well, these choices you make, like what food you eat, what stuff you put in your game, reflecting on your reflexes, like, okay, this is what I do and I live with it every single day. Like, it's your day-to-day, it's there all the time and you never think about it. It's like walking. You don't think about walking. You don't think about how much you walk. You don't think about all the places you walk. But the moment you can't, or the moment that something changes and you're not able to, like, you know, like you get injured, you sprain an ankle or something, suddenly you realize how different your life is when you change it. You know, say we switch from omnivorous to vegetarian, you take away something and it's like, you suddenly notice how much of that thing you have or how little you have of it. And it's weird. It's like you kind of become cognizant of it. You become made aware of something that's different in your space, right? With games, it's like, it's sort of similar, where it's like, okay, if you strip out what, like, certain games out of your library, it's like, what do you think about when you're playing those games? You know, it's like, if I strip out, like, if I took out all RPGs from my gaming, it's like, all right, what's left? Like strictly like pure RPG, like not pure RPGs because there's no such thing anymore, but not like a pure RPG. Like, well, any game can be a role-playing game if you really like apply it from an angle. Like, theoretically, Battlefield is role-playing because you're playing as a soldier in a war, and that's your role to play, and you engage with the world by shooting it. Like, that's technically, like, the term role-playing is such an umbrella term. It doesn't, like, theoretically, you can use it to describe anything. Oh. I apologize that it's a little quiet, because I have to keep adjusting the settings and stuff, but the music for this area, I really want to put it, I want to make like an hour loop of it. I love the music in this, in Non. It's one of my favorite themes I've ever written. and for like my town, for the town themes. And I really like it. It makes me very happy. I for a moment, let me turn it up for you guys so you guys can hear more of it. Need to turn it up a little more. Crank the volume. Yes. I love this music so much. I'll put it up a little bit more, and then I'm gonna let it finish the loop, and then I'll turn it back down and keep going. I'm sorry. I think it's just because I love the music. Just sorry, I'm just like I'm like, it's odd because I'm it's just like, I know it's like, it's mildly self-indulgent, I know that, but it's also like in my heart I'm like, I'm grateful that I still feel as in love with it as when I first wrote it, you know? It's like, it's something that I think strikes me, is that of all things, I'm happy that every time I've come back to Red Genie and I've come to look at it, I've played it again, and I've looked at it, it's made me happy again. It's like, you know, falling in love with it all over again. You know, I just realized I haven't done, I never upgraded the black pendant. That's actually very funny. I never upgraded that. I am going to... Actually, you know, I know what I can do. I know who I can talk to. Hang on. There is something I can do really quick. Hang on. I do have something I know I can do. Where is... Oh, here it is. Here we are. Hello, ma'am. Hello. And now we can... Let's see. Place your hands upon a crystal ball to see their true form. What form does your soul reach for first? I'm gonna take... I think I'm gonna take... Sword and Clover. Winding mysterious colors, nice, easy, shrouded, able to grant us points. The mountain at the end and the rest is hard to see by comparison. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, so now... This is probably something that I think some people... Quick ODaM, which G Fuel should I try first? First one. I do not remember, but... Alright, and this is where the pendants are. You can get them here. Earth, Fire, Family. And I'm going to use the Gambler Soul. Yeah, there we go. That's the good stuff. I'm buzzing. It's funny because in my head I'm like, I can't say the word bussin' unironically, but it's very like, it's just very hard for me to say it, but it's just because I don't think I'm cool enough to be able to say it properly, but it is very funny. Hello. Weapons. Let's see. I think I'm gonna buy the Exalt Bow at least. Burger King. I see. Or McDonald's? That's a weird question for game design stuff. Very hard for me to answer. I don't eat fast food, so probably neither, honestly. Let's see. We got the Exalt Bow. There we go. Feel bad I have to swap it, but it'll be worth. Exalt Core Whip. Higher attack, but less everything else. Oh man, I just realized my agility and luck is stacked. Okay, I have so many weapons I can sell. I can sell stuff. Of everything though, I am gonna keep the Nevermore Gauntlets, Greenwalker Bow. There we go. Alrighty. Don't think I need anything else. At least I don't think so. Actually, no, I'll use the spear. I'll use the spear. There we go. But, one thing I did do, okay, so this is something I did do consistently, was I always put the weapon, and no matter where the other stores are, weapons and armor always go next to each other like this. It was something I wanted to keep design-wise consistent across the entire game, along with making the inn basically the same shape everywhere you went, so that you knew where it was every time. Because it's something that I think helps keep your... It helps keep it helps like you spot it faster, right? You keep that shape and that knowledge in your head, and it lets you like almost pick it out a little easier, right? Also, so this is one piece of design that I did on purpose, and I feel like for some people it might be very unnerving and very confusing, is that most of the castle there are no enemies. There are some that are just like around corners and stuff. Like there's some random pockets where you can run into enemies, but for the majority of the castle, there are no there's like no, there's not a lot of, there's no random encounters, which was on purpose. It was 100% on purpose, because I felt like, of all things, the scariest thing that it is just like, yeah, he's just letting you come in. He's letting you get to the point. And I feel like that's almost, I feel like if I were playing an RPG and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go fight this boss, and he just doesn't, he's not having the enemies like hound you. And I think that's interesting. And this is Darkwalker's armor. I'll lose some agility and some luck, but I will get some supreme as heck defense. I'm gonna swap to it because it's very cool. But I think this castle is probably one of the most involved. Comments a boss where they know they can beat you easily. Well, and this guy, I feel like he actually earns it a little. At least I think he does. But of all things though, I liked the idea of this boss fight being the easiest to get to. Also partially because I thought it would be nice for the player, where if they find they're very unprepared and it's like, okay, well, you don't have to go through a ton of hoops to get back to the boss fight. It's like, okay, go out. If you need to train, if you really need to train or get better equipment, you can leave, go back, train a little bit, come back, and you don't have to fight through like an entire castle's worth of people again, right? So I know in some places, in some areas of the game, I could imagine people be like, oh, well, if I get stuck, it's like, what do I do? And it's like, well, it's like, well, oh, Trajan, it's been a while. Also, I purposefully named the inn the Darkest Hour, and it's a little cheeky. It's a little bit of an interesting beat. It's the name, because the inns are all named, and it's very funny because some of them are like time puns and some of them are specifically supposed to be foreshadowing, and I find it interesting because I had fun with it. And also, it's like I did so many little things that I couldn't fully grasp. I couldn't fully explain every decision from here, because it's been, it's about like almost a year now that some of these decisions were made. And it is nice though that I still love the decisions I made. Because I think some people, when they make something, they're like, oh, they point out all the flaws. They go like, oh, well, I don't know if you'll like it. I'm just like, no, I think this is great. I still love this thing that I made, and I'm happy with it. It's like, there are flaws, sure, and I see the flaws and I know them, but they don't take away from how much I love it. Kind of how it's how I felt when I've fallen in love in life before, with my work, with the works I've done, with the things I've made, and with the people I've met. I've fallen in love a good number of times. I've written a poetry book. I remember Crooked made a joke about that once, where it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, you're not romantic? You wrote a book of poetry? You're not a hopeless romantic? I'm like, no, I am a hopeless romantic. I'm more of a hopeful romantic. I just hope that my hope is that you know, I'll find another muse. Fighting you here. I see you go to face it, God. If you can't beat me, you stand a chance to go on this path you chosen. Besides, say you plan to wish to reverse it all. Could I not take a chance to have the battle of a lifetime? I love him. Huge contrast between doubting your work versus being confident that you did. Oh man, my brain just went like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, for anyone who's followed my work before, I wrote a song a long while ago. It was in my first year of writing music, which was 2021. I wrote a song called Dance of Wolves. This is essentially just a remix of that. Because I couldn't think of a better theme to go with this fight. And this one you have to win, so I'm gonna try my level best to win. I think I want to be... Actually, no, I think I want a Mediguard. I just had the realization that, oh yeah, he has a magic move that will absolutely smoke me if I'm not careful. I just thought about that. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, that's the one. Oh, hey, I nullified it. Yes. Really hoping he doesn't pull some BS on me, but... I have a lot. I think buying the better weapons is a good move on my part. Holy crap. I just had a thought though. Is he gonna... I'm really scared he's gonna... Oh no. Oh, wait a minute. I was like, oh wait, doesn't he have that move still? He hasn't used it yet. Oh, hey, there it is. Oh, hey, there's that move. And I just had the thought of, wait a minute. One of those, hey, wait a minute. Doesn't he still have a move you can, Okay, I think I can win by using magic. His magic defense is still down. I think I can hit him with something big. We'll use Naomi's Psychic Thorn. That was pretty good. Very scared though, but let's go for Tripping Slash. Oh yeah, we got him. Oh boy. Instant level up. Yep. I mean, you get a sword right away. Oh, there it is. So, interesting little touch that I did, story-wise, which I know that some people, when they... I think... Born Emperor's Wrath, and you get the Peerless Magic. Feel bad that you just kind of leave him here. You kind of just leave him there. It's very funny, but also like, man, kind of wish I could help him out a little. But yeah, there's actually it's interesting looking at the music I've written and then how that influenced how I got here, because a lot of the music I've written was, you know, it was already sounding like video game music originally. So it was interesting when I look at how I approached writing the soundtrack here and then applied the lessons I learned to make this. That was really fun. It was definitely telling that it was really good for me to practice the way I did. Because I think if you're gonna go into solo game design, like if you're gonna work on games by yourself, if you know that you have skills that you need to work on, you know, individually, like writing or music or, you know, like music composition, you know, prose writing, poetry, artwork. If you know the skills you're already pretty good at and you know what you know, you've practiced them, I think working on individual projects just to hone those crafts is really an important step, in my opinion. I think for some it might not be the thing to do, because, you know, maybe it's just not a thing to do, but it's not the thing they want to do. But I am, at least personally, I think it's important to take time to work on your other skills. You know, like with music, I've written, you know, multiple music albums and I've posted them up individually, and I just focus on making good music. And that really helped me both gain confidence as a musician, but also it let me learn how to hone an emotion, because I started learning musically how to reach a certain mood, how to create tone, how to create contrast, how to, you know, create dramatic move. And like, I will never say I'm a master, because I'll be a master when I'm, you know, entirely gray at the top and, you know, very, very tired out. But I think it's important, though, that of all things that like, you know, it's like you always strive to improve. And I think you improve more and more by working on the skill alone. I think that's probably one of the best ways to improve a skill, right? Because you can really work on it alone. And that's actually what I did. That was the whole first 2 years of my career was I wrote books and I wrote music, and I wrote them individually, and I worked on games. I started streaming in 2022, and I started learning more about games. I started researching and understanding. And then from there, I started putting the skills together. And I think that's a really good way to do it. I think I will deal with every couple of enemies, I'll deal with them so I can... kind of so I can just get some extra experience on the way over. But I think that's a really helpful thing to do for both, like, you know, and it's also holistic because you start practicing these skills and understanding them. Let's see. Do that. I think I am gonna adjust the volume a tiny bit more, just so it's a little bit quieter, but I think some of this is because RPG Maker inherently makes things a little louder. I think it makes battles inherently louder than Overworld, which I think is interesting, but it's also a little bit... it is a little bizarre. Let's see, I'm gonna do... let's see, we have powerful spells, so I can do... where is it? Yeah, here it is. And dead. Guess funny thing about naming spells, I will say naming abilities, naming moves, it's probably one of the most it's difficult, because you kind of need to think, okay, I need to make this move sound cool without getting too, you know, just kind of edgy with it. Because you need to be like, okay, well, I want it to be cool, but you want it to say what it does, but you don't want it to be, you know, just like stupid. I think one of the funniest ones to me, I say funny as in, like, to me it's a bit amusing because I know what it is. Iced Earth is probably one of my favorite names, because it's a direct reference to a band. Because there's a band called Iced Earth, and they wrote one of my favorites. I found the band after, when was it? It was after college. I think I found them like right after college. And they wrote a song called Dracula. Like, they wrote the song about Dracula, and it feels more like it's about the Castlevania Dracula, right? And oh man, it's so good. It's so freaking good. I really like it personally, and it's a little weird for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna reference this band I just like, but I am of the mind that if you really like something, you should, you know, honor that. It's really nice. It's nice when you can put your heart into things and just show that love for things when you're working, right? I think that's fun. Okay, I think I am gonna just run from this fight though. Alrighty. Gotta keep going. We have a long way to go and a short time to get there. I think I'm gonna use one of the elixirs. There we go. But I think the screen's a little bit squished, but I think that's the aspect ratio from. It's much more. I think it's much more the Hang on. I think that's a little bit of the. Let's see if I can fix it a tiny bit. Maybe. Nope, that's not helping. That's not helping at all. Not helping. Hang on. Wah. I think it's this way. And it's it's like a little bit. There we go. It's a little better. Yeah, unfortunately, that's one thing where it's like I can't fix that. It's like with RPG, like streaming RPG Maker. Sometimes it's a little bit awkward, but I think some of that's just because aspect ratios are different. Wonder why that is though. Don't know why that is, but it's strange. I think I'm following the roads just so I remember where I'm going. But there's a lot of stuff. I think for those who watch this playthrough, there's a lot of stuff I am like purposefully not going to chase. I'm not going to chase every single individual thread because I don't want to take away the fun of exploration from anyone who watches this. You know, it's like, oh yeah, there's like I've shown a fair bit of what the game has to offer and things you can go and do, but there's also a fair bit of stuff I just did not even, I didn't go and do. There's some side quests I didn't go and, show because I wanted, I want to leave it for people. It is a lot of restraint on my end, I will say, because good lordy, all I want to do is just be like, yes, I want to show you guys everything, but I recognize that, I don't want to take away the fun of exploration from anyone who wants to, because I think a lot of people would really like to who would like to see this and play it themselves and get to enjoy the game themselves. And that's the way I'm gonna do this myself. Let's see, how much does it take to level up? 1,000. Don't think I'm gonna get there before I get back to Grenouille, but I really could, but I don't know if that's gonna be yeah, well, we have time. We have a little bit of time. I could probably get some fights done. I'll have to think about it a little, but yeah, it's something that, and with, what's actually another piece of design that I think was, oh, I see. I think, yeah, there we go. That's a little better. That's a little better. Kind of feels like we're looking at a CRT TV. But there's something, it is something with like RPG Maker that I looked at other RPG Maker games. I looked at other RPGs that are specifically turn-based RPGs, right? And one thing that I found that I didn't want to do to differentiate myself from other games of this cut was a lot of RPG Maker developers really like using the side view. They really like the side view battle screen. And I actually had it for a while that I was going to do side view, but then I looked at it and I was just thinking, I don't like how it looks personally, but it's not, and it's not because I've seen some people who are working in the system that make it look really good. But for me, I just thought there's something more intense to me about having the enemies looking, first off, having them look straight at you, right? Having them look through the camera. I could see why. Yeah, because I in my opinion, I really like the intensity of having the enemy characters closer to frame and also having them look directly at you. I think that's far more intense. Some people don't like the chibi models in the battle scene. They're also, yeah, those are also kind of like, I am not a big fan of the chibi models myself. But it's a personal thing, because I think for some people, they want to make a fun, like, just a fun adventure, and they just want to have some fun with it. So it's like, oh yeah, it's harmless when you do it that way. But I think for some, it's like, it just doesn't, if you really want to have, like a relatively serious, fight aesthetic, I think it's better to use the front view. Again, this is where other RPGs influenced my decisions. I've mentioned it before. There's a game I played called Stranger of Sword City that really did this well. It was really effective at this because the fights would be in, this first person view, and the mazes that you explore in are also in first person. And I thought that was a very immersive way to bring the player directly in. And I really like that, so I wanted to keep it. This place is burnt, so that's nice. Whoops. Oh, hi. And I think that's the kind of thing, though, that is a lot. It's, in my opinion, I just didn't like the side view that RPG Maker uses. So I just didn't want to use it myself. And I think when it comes to making creative decisions like that, like, you know, side view versus front view, you know, what weapons are in the game versus, you know, like what play styles you have available, those sorts of things. I think if you aren't able to reflect and self-reflect and say, this is why I'm making these decisions, and I'm not just going to throw things in, I think that it can be a little tenuous to, you know, like when you're making a game, because you might end up making decisions just because, oh yeah, it looks cool, or this is what I prefer. It's like, but understanding why it's good and why you enjoy it, I think is also, I think that's very important to do, right? I think it's very important to be cognizant and aware of why you're making decisions. All right, so we learned Toxin Storm and Poison Beam. I think that means, wait, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's funny. So there are, I did not know that. That's an oversight on my part, but I think that's funny. I didn't know there were 2 places you could learn Toxin Storm, because you can learn it either here or you can learn it from the clown. But you can skip the clown and go here. That's interesting. Oh boy, that's funny. I didn't catch that one, but that's very funny. Oh man, it's so subtle you can't even hear it. It's basically indescribable. But this is one of those things that also streaming is gonna be lost to people. But when you're actively wait, hang on. Let me up the. Is it BGS? Yeah, there it is. It's showing up on OBS now, but the BGS, the background sound, it's very subtle. If you're playing the game yourself, you'll hear it better. I couldn't get it. I can't get it loud enough to be because the thing I didn't want to do is make people deaf with sound with ambience and sounds, because man, I hate it when that's one thing I personally am not a fan of with how some game developers do it, is they make things too loud. And I might be I am a little bit guilty of it myself, but it's also like, but I also made it so that it's by default quieter than RPG Maker makes it, because RPG Maker dimes things up to 90% loudness in their settings. So when you make a new sound effect, it is loud. And I try to reduce that, because holy crap, it's almost painful to try and listen to some of it, because like, oh geez, yeah, that is a lot. Let's see, I'm gonna use Acid Wave and try and finish these guys up real quick. Hey, look at that. Oh, we're so close to leveling up, really? Well, now I feel like we can't go back until we've leveled up. Some stuff is really loud, yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things that it's very hard to... It's mostly because RPG Maker natively, it delineates volume by 20% intervals, which is something that for the next game I am going to try and make more... I'm going to try and fix that up a little. If I can help it. I would like to fix it if I can. I think BGM 40 and BGS 5060 is a good start. Yes. That's what I try to do usually, is do... and sound effects down to 40%, you know? Like, I think that's very good. Let's see, do I have any fraction ray? And that's because it's one of those things that is very upsetting when you're trying to work on... Oh, that's right, I got silenced. Whoops. But it is one of those things that when you're working on RPG Maker and when you're playing these games, it can be a little bit like, okay, yeah, I'm dealing with the audio issues, and it can be very hard to troubleshoot, because you have to just kind of sit there and finagle with it for a while. Hey, and everything's on fire. I will say that designing this area was probably one of the hardest things for me to do. Not even kidding. Designing this area, very difficult. Because I had to take the town of Krenui, properly destroy it, and then also make it so that you could get to the things you needed to, which is not shops. You just have hi Noah, how you doing? And he's dead. You know what's a weird thing that I just thought of? For some reason, this particular scene, it reminds me a tiny bit of the boss version of I Think I Know I Would Have Done It, masking areas that need to be saved and the others can be destroyed as much as possible. Well, in my case, one thing I did was I actually basically just cordoned off the map in a way that so you can only see as much as I need you to have. And it's one of those things where I just took the map. I took the actual town map and copied it, and then cordoned off where I need to have the player go. And then from there, I actually literally deleted chunks of the map to just shore it up, and then used the, change the terrain to almost make it like an island, almost kind of like, oh god, the Kingdom Hearts is coming back again. Like the Destiny Islands bit where like the whole landmass is just floating up, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's just like this island of what's left of the world. And also, I made an upgraded version with horns of the pre-battle theme because I was like, no, this is awesome. Make a new version of it. Also, something I did on purpose that I thought at first I was like, this is a mistake and I should get rid of it. But this music track is one of the very few that purposefully clips. Like, if you listen very carefully or turn the volume up and you listen very closely to the music actually clips. Like, it actually starts to clip a tiny bit when it gets to the higher registers. And I actually left it alone because it's like, yeah, this is like when you hear music, when you hear sound effects clipping, it almost feels like the music itself is breaking its own reality, right? Like, to me. So leaving it alone like that to me was like, oh yeah, no, this is like, yeah, the emotion of this song and the emotion going on with the character is strong enough that it's like, yeah, that it's gonna break out of whatever it's in. And now I get to fight ya boy. You know, I just had a thought. If I counted how many times I've done the whole, I'm gonna have a driving snare drum in every single boss fight, I would have a lot to count. Not a bad thing at all, but I also find it very funny because it's my favorite go-to. Oh, I need to make the boss fight good. All right, snare drummer, hit the just having like a guy on a snare drum behind me the whole time. It's very funny. At least to me, it's funny. I don't know. It's just like, it's one of those things that as in terms of my own design, I notice it a lot, you know? Like, I notice what I do a lot, what my favorite tricks are. That did nothing. That whip is not gonna do a thing. I'm gonna stick to the sword. I think I accidentally became a sword main on accident. Oops. Wait. No, I'm gonna go for that. That's gonna be fun. Let's see. How many? I did not buy many potions, did I? I did not. Man is really cooking with the damage, though. Ow. Ow. I feel like getting paralyzed is probably one of the worst things to happen. Let's see. I think I need to go for something. I need to go for something stronger. I'm gonna try this really quick, actually. I have an idea. Ow. Really gotta hope here. Ow. Just thinking about this boss fight is... Oh, hey, this part. So, this part of the music, it's all... I know where I got this from. How many people know the drowning music of Sonic off the top of their head? It's a similar chord progression, and it's very good. I really like that. I really like it personally because it's very evocative. In fact, I use it 3 times. Let's see. I need to figure out what to do because I am not doing good right now. Magic. Let me think. I think if I do Blessed Heal, I'll be okay. Maybe. I almost died. I'll take it. I will say, I do appreciate that even though I made the game, I'm still having a heck of a time trying to beat this boss fight. Okay, Metaguard. Because holy crap, I'm getting cooked. It's like I don't want to waste time healing, but I'm also thinking, man, I really need to. I would rather be able. I think I know I can take him out in one shot if I'm careful, but okay. Yeah, I think I know what I can do. I have a strongman elixir. Use this. Okay, I lost agility, but that's fine, because I'm going to do something very mean. Okay, here we go. That did 1,000 damage, and he's not dead. Why are you not dead? How are you not dead? This man is... Oh yeah, he's been recovering health the whole time, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, holy shit. Well, that was awesome. Good job, thank you. Oof. What is happening? Oh, the game broke. Game broke. Actually, in that case, I know what happened there, huh? Game broke. Nah, just kidding. But game, he was just like, whoa. He got warped. My man got warped right there. Holy crap. My man got warped. That's new. You know what's funny too is I know that, well, I do know why this happened. I do know why this happens. Sometimes because I noticed that the game was lagging a little bit and I noticed it and I was like, wait a minute, game is lagging again. Which I think is because my computer's been on for a inordinate amount of time. Sometimes game just lag. So that's one that just happens sometimes. RPG Maker, everyone. And it's funny too, because in all of my testing, never seen this happen. The cutscene works as intended. The one time I'm streaming the game, it does that. Which I think is funny. In my opinion, it's funny, but also like, wow. It's just like, oof. Oh, well, I'm happy I got to see it. On a side note, for those who were listening and keeping track, yeah, this is the upgraded version of the song that plays in Naomi's tower, so... It's very cool. Oh yeah, wait, are these guys just... Oh yeah, they're the Tundra... Oh, these are Tundra soldiers. Usually you would go to the Genie, be sent somewhere else, so that's new to me. Ah, yes. So yeah, Ben, this is the true ending playthrough because I wanted to make sure that the first half of stream, I showed how to get the true ending active. Second end it, and then the second half is I'm gonna go do the true ending. Because I wanted to talk about design choices. Namely that this place is... Frankly, I wanted to make something that felt disturbing. Like, this place, if you, like, it... For those who have played the game, it's like, yeah, this place is not natural. At all. Definitely hasn't changed for the true ending. Yeah. Well, and it's like... It's funny because... I wasn't... Because this was what I was planning this before it happened, but... It's interesting how much this game was... It unintentionally became similar to games that were contemporary when I was... I was playing when I was making this part of the game. Namely, weirdly enough, Persona 5 Royal and Stellar Glow. Those two, I think, had unintentional after effects on my design because... My goodness, man. Especially Stellar Glow. I think the ending of it was still fresh in my mind when I got here. Alrighty. Hello. Ah, yes. So, interesting thing about the design of what I would say is like the last entity, the last, you know, lord, as it were. I'm gonna be honest. I really like the idea. For me, Sphinxes, nobody uses Sphinxes as antagonists anymore. Yeah, the Sphinx. I don't think people use Sphinxes as antagonists, like, you know, the biggest of the bads. Because I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of room for someone to use a Sphinx as like a very powerful entity. And also this guy, if anybody can tell what my favorite character from Dragon Ball Super is, also I just want to say, if anybody refers to somebody as mortal unironically, don't do that. It just is like, I think that's just... I'm just gonna prove that that's not a good idea. But I do think that... I think that the choice for a Sphinx, a Guardian, to be the final boss is... In my opinion, I think it's really cool. It's also oddly serendipitous because Sphinxes are... You know, it's like they're guardians, but I always had the thought that if you take the term of guarding something and misconstrue it, it's you can easily turn it into an evil intention. And I don't know, I just like the... But also, I like him a lot because the design of him is very cool. I will say that his design, I like that it's almost a little bit strange looking because he's not really of this world, is he? Cutscenes are breaking everywhere because for some reason lag, but it's okay. Ninjas. Also, hey, there you go. I like that these three just go, huh? And second party member. Which I think some people would be like, why do you get a second party member only for this part of the game? And it is true. Which I think it's very fun. Let's see, magic. I think I'm gonna go with Breath of Winter. Oh yeah, these guys are fast as heck. These guys are very fast, actually. I think I need to just end the fight, so I think I'm gonna do something like this. Also, the choice of essentially giving the Sphinx a ninja clan to work with, in my opinion, weird but very cool. I don't know, just my brain was like, it's like, all right, what do you want? What else do we have here? Ninjas? Excellent. Time ninjas. How much do you know about time travel? Yeah, so this is where I sort of bend the rules of time and reality, but also this is the reasoning. I tried to explain it magically, but it's also like, it's up to the... I love that part of the game. Yeah, it's just like, if somebody asked me, so why did you do it like this? It's just like, well, because the moment that somebody breaks the rules of reality, you open the rule book, and then it's like taking a phone book and tearing it in half, right? Like, once you tear the page, like, all right, you've broken the rules of time by going backwards. So how do you handle that, you know? And because that's something that I think a wish, if you actually have the magic of a real true wish, you are breaking the rules of reality. And time is part of reality, so I hope I don't start crying when with this theme playing, because man, that would be really embarrassing to do on stream. That would be very embarrassing for me to do on stream. However, this piece of music is one of my favorites I think I've ever written. It's the Time Walker's theme. Basically, this is the Time Walker's theme. This is the other person's theme. So your individual thread becomes its own timeline, and they all come together at the start and end points. So everything has happened. Turns out wishing yourself out of existence just puts you outside of time. Essentially a living paradox. This is actually something, the living paradox idea actually came from DC Comics, because I thought that it was an interesting sort of thing to give the player, because man, you have a hero who basically who lost everything, and they have to decide, are they ready to sacrifice that? And man, it makes me sad. It's the same way I feel about other characters I've written that I know their fate. You know, where it's like, I know that this character won't make it, you know, like, I know what's going to happen. And, you know, it's almost like I can sign them to it, and it's like, that makes me feel sad a little, you know, like, let's see, I'm gonna let's do this. We're gonna do these. Oh yeah, she's level 20. Oh my god. Kind of forgore. Let's see. Oh wait, equip, Raven. Yeah, Raven has some very good stuff. She is strong. That's excellent. Oh, wait, poison. Bitter herbs? Nope. Antidote? There we go. But yeah, I think that... Are you doing the thing? Also, this, I don't know, it just gives me a fun time to... Where they're just like, oh yeah, we could just talk about the... We're gonna talk about it. So I think I'm gonna give... Actually, wait, who has... I'll do it this way, it's fine. But I think that it's... As much of a design choice as it is a little weird, I don't know, I like this. And both are, yes. Alright, let's get going. Let's see. I think I'll give the... Actually, wait, no, she's gonna have the... I think I'm gonna make Corvin the physical attacker and have her be the magic attacker. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. Hi, This is Zavarn. The Evoker, Savarn. That's a Chronomancer. So, this is actually something that they were working with the elves on Chronomancy. This is something that is way, like, it's just something that, like, is just part of the world, and it's part of world building that is not going to be touched here, ever, but it's something that I know the answers to. And it's actually because my D&D campaign. It's actually because this world is, I used it for D&D first, and it's interesting because I actually had a whole thing in there that I worked into the world I've been making with Eidola, and it's, I don't know, it's interesting. Fate made impervious. I like the term fate made impervious. It just sounds cool. Time is not an exact science in magical terms. So yeah, it is. There's an explanation here, and I'm talking to Zavarn because I wanted to. I'm putting it on screen, so if you want to pause and read, I wish to make sure that people who watch the VOD and for everybody can read it. But I just like I've read it so many times, so my brain is like, yes, I know. But this is again something where I wanted the lore to be something that you can engage with at your leisure and at your speed, because I didn't want to ever bog people down with it, you know, like, because I feel like that's something that other RPG Maker games feel like they have to do, is they have to justify themselves, you know, like they have to say, yes, this is the lore and you're gonna read it, and it's like, no, come on, man. Items, and I'm going to get myself, I think I'm gonna just get large, oh yeah, I have money. I'm getting large elixirs. There we go. Money. Oh yeah, that's right. If you have the money, you can just buy tons of stat boosting items. It's very funny to me. Let's see. Weapons, buy, let's see. I think I want to get, thinking about it, I think I want to get the sling, and I want to get the, I think I want to get the axe. Get the axe on ya boy. And then sling. There we go. But it was something that I think, like, I wanted the lore to be sort of like in Dark Souls, or in other games like that, where you are the one who is going to make the decision to engage with it. Also, dog. So, I put this in as a joke, this spinning dog, but I told my friend I should probably take this out before the final version of the game, because he was the one who was playtesting for bugs and stuff, and he specifically told me not to. So, interpret this dog lore-wise as you will. He does bark, though. The dog do bark. It's one of those things that, why did I do it? Nah. Kind of like, well, it's funny, and I saw him spin like that too. Like, here's the thing. It doesn't make 100% sense. No. And also, is it just like weird? Yes. But this is something that I think it's like, and this is something that I think is true for my design as well, and for, you know, for game designers in general. I feel like some people think that if you're not an established game designer, you can't do weird stuff, and you can't just have like personal twists and having like just have fun with it. And I feel like there are times where people just, it's more fun to just include something because it's fun. You don't need to justify it. It's like a personal form of lampshading if you keep having to justify yourself to other people, right? It's like, you know, it's like, it's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because it's fun, you know? Because it's funny, and it's just a weird thing, and it's frankly harmless, you know? Like, it doesn't harm the game in any way to have a spinning dog. I think what I'm gonna do is do this on Plate Master. Roll back up a little. Lightning bolt. Oh, that's right. He can also counterattack. I forgot. It's very funny seeing the enemy also be like, hey, listen, I can counterattack too, fool. It's like, oh, geez, right. Oops. But I feel like it's like there's a certain amount of elitism that I think some devs get, is that they get almost a little bit, they almost get a little bit more, they feel like, oh yeah, I've made a bunch of games, you know, and I can say, yes, I have the authority. And it's like, well, what defines authority? What defines an authority on this medium? What defines an authority on, you know, pretty much anything, really? Like, what grants someone higher wisdom? You know, it's sort of like, what is wisdom? And can you define it for me? What is wisdom? What is experience? And can you define what that means and what it looks like? Because I think sometimes it can be, it's like, I almost feel like for some, it's very almost painful if somebody's really good at something and they don't have time behind it. It's just, oh yeah, they worked on it and they tried. Okay, so I do feel a little bad. The guy on the left, that's Bellowa. He's a side quest we did not do. He's an optional area boss fight. Most would give you the silent treatment as an answer. Yes. And if I ever seem adversarial when I'm questioning people, it's never out of like I am actually trying to be hostile. It's more like, no, I want to challenge your views because I want to see what you say. I want to know more. I want to learn. Also because I read Socrates and took that as great inspiration, and Diogenes as a life goal, because nothing quite says you're going to either really piss someone off or get a very fascinating discussion like applying the Socratic method to a discussion about your profession. Because if somebody comes to me and says, this is how you should be making games, I'll be like, why? Also because personal experiences, whenever somebody says you should, I immediately get, it's like turning PvP on. I will come at you with fangs bared if somebody says you should do this, you should do that. Like if somebody says, "Oh, you should, be careful near that ledge." It's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. But it's another thing when someone says you should change how you do this work because I don't like it. It's like, well, because I remember distinctly that I was told you should take Spanish class in middle school, and then I was like, well, guess who's taking French when school starts? So, yeah, I have a chip in my shoulder, but I don't think you should, I don't think anybody should be being told. I know I'm gonna say should, but it's the word's gonna lose meaning, but I feel like it's very, also, I just love this. Do you not see there's two of us now? Hello. I beg your pardon. Oh, man. And we get to have this boss fight again. But he's upgraded. He is upgraded, by the way. He's not just the same boss fight. He is actually boosted. But just to prove a point, I feel like it's one of those things that if you're going to like present the like an argument, or if you're going to state something, you should be able to back it up. Like, it's not just, oh, I said the thing, so it's right, you know? Like, so I feel like that's something that I ran into a lot at college that I found very frustrating, was, man, how many times did I hear somebody say, oh, I think this, and I'm like, well, why? And then they sit there, slack-jawed thinking, and it's like, it's okay. So I got icons yesterday. There's not much room in a 32 by 32 pixel image. No, there isn't. It is one of the hardest spaces to work in. You have 32 pixels. How do you make that work? I do know one thing that makes it a little bit, that helps a little bit, is I think that it helps a lot when you're, let's see, I'm gonna use extreme speed strike. There we go. And I think that it's something that like people have been doing it for a while now, right? Because older games did use the same size asset, right? Spear. Bespearman. Excellent. But that's something that, like, because, on the N64 era, the PlayStation 1, even back then, they were doing stuff like, oh my, wait a minute, go back a step. How many drop weapons did I just get? 1, 2, I got all 3 of the, like, 9 of the 7th tier drop weapons on I finally did it. I finally got to see all of the drops on one boss fight. That's amazing. I never get to see that. That's awesome. The God Slayer. Look at that stat. It's amazing. I love that. That's amazing. It's absolutely freaking awesome. I have never gotten to see that. That is amazing. Look at that. Yeah, that's good stuff. Let's see. I'm also going to equip the... Where is it? Where is it? I forgot. I forgot. Nope, not that. This whip. Yeah, there we go. By the way, when I think it... Let me go see real quick. I think it's the... Yeah, Perfect Chaos Whip. It says here it can inflict many different status ailments. Basically, when you swing this whip, there is a chance for almost every status ailment in the game to go off. I'm not even kidding. Basically, if it exists in the game, the status ailment can go off, and it's very funny. Also, quick, easy way to go back. I'm gonna do it in developer order because... Oh, dog. What the dog doing? I'm gonna do it in developer order because I can, and because I thought it'd be very nice to do it that way. Pay money for healing. But yeah, 32 by 32 pixels. Nobody really realizes how small that is until you start working in it. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that's a very small amount of space to work in. Did you find some favorite designs in that time? I suppose so. I will say, this is also something that I just did as a... I thought it was an interesting way to do this, was having it so that the dungeons are laid out. It's like, you have the rule of... I actually did this in the rule of 3, where it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna have 3 of these happen, where it's like, oh yeah, you have the three things happen, and then... Let's see, is this the... Oh, it's Chrono Wizard. So I thought it was cool that it happens in 3s, you know? I'm a big fan of the rule of 3. I do like in Eastern storytelling, they use the 4-beat. You can increase in the 128 by 128 image instead, but always keep in mind that it needs to be exported into a 32. Yes. Especially helpful is working on it in a bigger space, and then shrinking it down and seeing how it looks, right? So I think it helps a lot to look at it that way, where you kind of break it down a little bit. Like, okay, how is it going to look when I shrink it down after you make it bigger, right? Like, you work on it bigger than... I just realized, look how big these ninjas are in comparison to these guys. I just realized why that didn't trigger in my head earlier. Because I just realized those guys are huge compared to those guys. I just realized why that never, like, oh, maybe I should adjust that, was... Do you want to know what enemy... Big men. Well, you know what enemy was in my head still when I was working on this? The Black Hand. I think it was the Black Hand, the Black Knife. It was the big stealth guys from Elden Ring. Those guys were still, like, fresh in my mind when I got to this part. So, yeah, that makes sense, actually. That actually checks out. that checks out to me. Actually, wait. We have the Chrono Sling, so I'm going to abuse the magic. Tiny bit. Let's see. We'll do Iced Earth. That'll be good. But it's funny because it's like really tall and lanky stealth ninjas makes sense to me in a weird way. Like, oh yeah, these really tall, lanky dudes just showing up behind you. You know, it's like, oh yeah, ninja. Like to me, that makes total sense. Also, I just thought about it too. Another spell that got added to the game way late in the game was these 3: Spirit Arrow, Spirit Sword, and Spirit Hammer. They were added much later as a way to deliver magical damage of the physical damage types. Because I thought that was really neat. Let's see. We have a million large elixirs. This is why you save your money, kids. I actually think that that's also because I have a bad habit of not spending money when I play video games. Like when I'm playing RPGs, I almost refuse to spend money until it's absolutely vital. Make use of a skill that affects both party members and enemies to stop their movement for 3 to 5 turns so that one character could do stuff apiece, but definitely need to nerf it too. Which one was it? Like in this game or just in general? Because I know in this game it's like I don't know if there's any that can like 100% shut people down. I don't think so. In mine that I'm working on. Oh, I see. Oh, I guess it does help though if you're like working on the game, and it's like, oh yeah, I kind of need to test, you know, it lets me get through parts of the game, but oh, I'm prone. Oops. Ow. I think I can use lightning bolt and freezing shot. Maybe. I'll see. But I know that there were some things I didn't change for the sake of testing, right? Because it does help quite a bit when you just need to get through the game, right? Actually, I guess fun fact, though I doubt anyone will ever find it, made some abilities necessary for puzzles to be solvable. I teach the player that while they solve it. That's really cool. That's a good idea too, because what you want to do is make it so that you learn the ability and you make learning this new mechanic of the game part of you. Like, the learning process should just be part of it. It shouldn't be like, we're gonna force you to read this thing. It's like, no, here's a new technique, try it out. You know, it's like, I think that's far better learning because you physically understand it. So I think that's always preferred, you know. So I think it can be very easy to forget that your players are going to be smart enough to figure it out. Let's use Sacred Arrow and let's see. Trying to think. Brain is doing its best right now. Hurricane? Oh, that's a fair bit of damage. Okay, let's see. Have him attack, and then I'll have Raven recover. We're good. But I think that making it so, like, I think the learning process, so working on the names and equipment and their stats and monsters, overall, still lots of work needs to be done. I think balancing stats is a mathematical thing, and I think it's easier to do so when you have a good idea of the beginning and the end, in my opinion. Like, having the beginning and the very end are figured out. Like, if I were doing this game again, I would probably design the stats and abilities at the very beginning, go to the very end, and like, all right, here's what I hope the final picture will be, and then work my way up through there and then see, okay, does the end of the game change because of the work done? Like, if you're, you know, using mathematics and using how the abilities are going to be designed, if you use those together, all right, does this curve make sense? So I think that's something that is very hard to get get down well. Is, okay, I need to, because the mathematics are like, if you get that down, then the balancing of it is just minor tweaking, right? Because it starts to smooth out as you get the curve closer and closer. Small elixirs. I think there's extra items here, but I'll leave that for people to discover because I can handle. I'll play ball. Hello. Oh yeah, this guy, we didn't fight him. He's in a side quest, which he was in the February demo, which as of this stream / recording / everything, I actually have taken down the February demo of Red Genie that was on itch.io because I got some crap about it. So it was like, oh yeah, why would you have this as your demo up if it's not the real game? And it was like, well, no, it was there as a... The reason the February demo was still up was because, oh, it's a marker of, okay, here's what I was doing game dev wise, and I like that I get to have it so I can compare and contrast the final version versus, you know, what I ended up getting the game to. Is it the one that was harder? A little bit. It was still very rough. It was, you know, it was February. The game came out in August and February was the demo. But I took it down because it's like, well, if this is your only demo, then you know, it's like you need to just make another demo, and it's like, well, no. And it's one of those things where I kept it up for posterity's sake because I thought it was a good lesson in, okay, here's what worked, here's what didn't, and here's how it was improved in the final version. But I just had to take it down. But it was harder. The February demo did have quite a few things that were wrong with it and things that were just, you know, a little bit broken. But it was also just meant to be a sampling. It was meant to be something that's just representative of, this is a work in progress. And I don't know, I feel like it's very weird to judge a work in progress harshly. You know, it's like, oh, it's clearly still in motion, right? And I feel like that's a little bit strange. Because whenever I've played demos, it's, you know, I take the time to say, well, I recognize this is a work in progress, so I'm going to give you the notes on the work in progress. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, yeah, this is still a work that is not finished. So I'm not going to judge it harshly in the same way. Like, I'm going to give it, you know, a fair and honest critique, but I don't think it does anybody well to be unduly shredded. You know, it's like, oh yeah, this work is, it's like, oh yeah, I can see what you're trying to do, and I think that's very cool, but I don't want to, because I don't want to just like destroy somebody because like, oh, this demo is awful. It's like, well, no, I don't think that's a fair thing to do to somebody. That's also because I don't want to make somebody feel like, oh yeah, it's like, oh yeah, here's, this project is in flux. I don't want to make someone feel bad because like, oh yeah, you're making this thing and it's just like, it's one of those, it's a personal philosophy that for me, I'd rather uplift people than ever rip them down, because yeah, maybe the work is rough, or maybe, oh, it's, you know, it's, you know, not quite there yet, but it's a work in progress, right? You know, it's like, oh, it just needs some more time. And I'd like to make sure that, you know, it's like, if I can help you get to that point, I'd rather do that, you know? I like that the magic defense loss actually applies first. Oh, that's very funny. I think I'm gonna do that, and then hey, there we go. But I think it's also because it's a matter of expectations. Oh my god, I got a lot of stuff. Holy crap. Well, these two I'm not going to use, but the top three? Oh. Getting the drop weapons is very cool. It's very nice. I'm happy I get to see these again. My god, 5 weapon drops. Yeesh. I think that's because the luck is just out of its mind right now. Because the luck is going nuts. Let's see. I think I want to give, in case we need it, I think I want Raven to have the Dragon God Spirit. Yeah, that's the good stuff. What was the other one we got? Not Thunderous. Dagger, no. We're good. I'd like to grab a fortune. I don't want spoilers. A reasonable Viceroy, but thank you so much for coming by. I do understand. I should have thrown up the thing. Thank you so much for even coming by, Viceroy. I do appreciate it a lot. Yeah, this is one thing that I recognize with this particular playthrough of the game. It's like, it is eternally going to be something that's like, okay, if you watch this, that's all right. We ourselves don't know where we are in the game. Reasonable. Well, and it's like, it's something that, it was a conflict in my mind of, do I even want to stream Red Genie myself? But I had the thought, yeah, but I'd rather discuss the game and talk about, here's why I made these decisions. Have a great rest of the stream. I'll try and jump back in on Sunday. Well, we're going to play Darkest Dungeon then, so that'll be good. I'll see you then. Thank you so much for coming by, Viceroy. And I decided to do this as a stream because, not just because I, you know, it's like, oh, I wanted to do it this way, but I think it's like, again, I said it earlier and I still hold it true, is that at the end of the day, I do want to have this be my sort of like, okay, I have discussed and experienced Red Genie as my creation, and like enough, you know, I've seen it to its end, and I feel okay with that, you know, and that's okay. I do worry though, because if we do wrap up early with like Red Genie, I do need to figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of stream, because I actually don't know. I actually have no idea. So I'll have to figure that out, frankly. I think it's an awesome idea to do so. Spoilers would happen if either you or I were to stream it. Of course, we have different views of the game, as I'm going to play the game a couple times through. Yeah. And I think if nothing else, I hope that one day these streams, if somebody's making their own game and they feel unconfident, you know, they worry that, you know, the struggle is going to not be worth it, the work is going to be hard. I hope that these two streams, you know, these two videos, if nothing else, I hope that it gives them the confidence and the understanding that it's going to be tough. You're going to make a game. If you're making a game right now, or you're working on a game, or you're thinking about working on a game even, you know, it's like, I think it's going to be a tough experience. It's going to be hard for you to do. And I think that, but it's worth it. Making things and you know, creative endeavors is a very difficult thing to do, but it's worthwhile. Let's see. Actually, I should try out the other weapons I got. I got the mace. We got the spear. Oh, sorry. We have this one. We do have the new technique. That's right. But I think that by discussing why I made certain design decisions, and also showing, hey, this game is imperfect, and there are things about it that I'm like, well, you know, there are things I know I could improve, but I'm not going to take the game apart, take it off Steam, and like redo it and then put it back, right? It's like, no, I'm actually very happy with how it came out, and I think that, okay, well, when at the end of the day, looking at the game, I'm happy with it. No, that'd be kind of dumb. Yeah, but it's like, but I look at what I've done and I recognize, flaws and all, the beauty of the thing I've made. And I think sometimes fix some issues, then move forward. Yeah, it's like, I fixed what I could, because right now, I believe, you know, it's like, from what I know, I have fixed everything that is fixable. You know, like I fixed up the game. I fixed up the issues of the game. You know, I fixed everything that I could, and that's it. You know, like I did everything I could, and the game is now here. And if I were to lay down some pros and cons for Red Genie, like honestly, but like being honest and critical, I think some of the there are glitches. It's a little rough around the edges graphically. And with certain menus, I think things are a little bit like generic for RPG Maker stuff. There are some issues with, it's mostly presentation that there are like hiccups and little, you know, things that are a little awkward. And it's a little awkward at times. You know, there are some things. And of course, if you grind a lot in this game, yeah, you'll break the combat. Which, you know, it is a little balanced out by if you do what I did, where it's just like, okay, if you continuously go forward and you grab weapons and armor and equipment and you raise your power level as the game goes, it does kind of balance out. But you know, that's of course that's a player decision. Broke the combat a little early. I always break the combat early, but that's because I know it. But in my opinion, it's like, well, yeah, it can be broken, but to me, I feel like it's almost a reward for players who are willing to put time and effort into learning it. You know, they like, oh yeah, I spent time learning this combat system and I broke it. Well, okay, you know, you rightfully feel like you earned the power play. But I also feel like I inadvertently paralleled my first book with my first game, where my first book is it's a pretty sizable book, but at the end of the day, my first book is a novella. And I feel like I made the gaming equivalent of a novella, where it's like, this RPG gives you the RPG, like the turn-based RPG experience in a compact form. It's not going to be an 80+ hour endeavor. If you play it a bunch of times over, maybe. But like you play it 6 times, 6 times, it's 80 hours. But to me, I almost feel like it's better because of it, because it makes itself better for, oh yeah, spiders. I don't even think these guys are gonna do much. No, yeah, these guys are gonna get cooked. But these are a super rare enemy, actually. I just realized they're just here because I wanted to remind people. I just remembered I put in the spiders and like some of those enemies just to remind the player, hey, look at these enemies that you had trouble with at the beginning of the game. Look how far you've come in this journey, right? Because I think that's fun. But honestly, though, I do think that when we're talking about, you know, this game, the pros of it, I think the music, in my opinion, you know, it's like, I think the music and the core gameplay loop is really good. I think the story is really good. I think it's really fun. It's different. It's interesting. You know, it's like, I think that the strengths I have played into the strengths of it. And I think the world is fun to explore, and I think the combat is fun, even if it can be broken. When you and the enemy are at the same level, it's engaging. It's fun. But this game is overall, like, if I were to say that what this game is in my mind, it's the equivalent to a weekend read, you know, for a book. It's like, yeah, you can read it in a day, in like, you know, like a day or two, and you could probably reread it a couple times, but it's, you know, it's a pretty solid, it's a pretty solid game to, you know, go back, just play it once or twice, have fun with it, maybe mess around, maybe, you know, mess with it, have fun with it. But, and I have one piece of you know, like, you know, it's part of gaming that, of the games industry is, it's frankly, it's marketing, it's money stuff, and I hate money stuff, but it's like, it's hard. You know what's probably the hardest part of making this game was pricing it, because I have to, because you, at the end of the day, you do want it to be, you know, I want it to be affordable, but I also recognize I have to pay for things. Specifically, it's like I have to, you know, it's like I thankfully, you know, covered Steam stuff, but it's like, well, it's the part of the industry I don't like talking about, is because I prefer to work on level design, world design, writing the story, writing the music. I like all the work of making the game. Marketing, like finances, doing all that stuff, hate it. It's not my favorite thing. But it's necessary. It's a necessary thing to deal with because you have to. If you're going to be a solo creator, you have to deal with it, and it's difficult to do sometimes. But I did drop the price, so, you know, I hope that more people can play the game if they, you know, I hope it opens it up for more people, but it's tough. It's tough because it's hard to, I want to make things as affordable as I can because I want more people to see the thing. I don't really, you know, like, you know, it's like, that's what I want more than anything, is for people to play it, so. Yeah, I just need to get it out of my system. Apologies. It's like, ugh. But, yeah, it's one of those things, though, that I've thought about a few times, and it's just like, it bothers me. Devil's honorable wench. I love this wench. Hey, your game is on a 25% discount too. It is. I did put it on a discount for when I first streamed the game. The Friday after I played it last Thursday, last Thursday I played the first half of this game, and the Friday afterwards, I put it on sale for 25% off because I think once a month, every month for the rest of this year, because November and December there are sales. I have Red Genie going on sale so that people can, you know, pick it up for less, because I want more people to play the game. Like, again, for me, I don't make games, and I don't write books, and I don't write music. I don't make things to make money. My hope is that I make money to make more things. It's the inversion. I make things for the sake of making the things because I love it. I don't want to... I'd rather just be like, yeah, no, I want more people to play the thing. I'd rather that than anything else. Oh yeah, he gets jacked. Alrighty, time for this fight one last time. I think I'm gonna lead with the strongest hit I can. Oh my god. I feel like this is like absolutely awful, but it's very funny. There's something very funny about I'm going to lead with the hit all spells and just go nuts. Oh my god, that almost killed Corvin. That's not good. Okay, you know what? I know what I can do. Hang on. I know what I can do to fix this. That does not cure confusion. Oops. But I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. Let's do this on that one. This fight's actually pretty tough, as I recall. It's actually pretty tough. Because all three of them get stronger. It is not a matter of only one of them getting stronger. Don't know if I want to leave Corvin that low on health. But also, I could do this. Well, that helped. That helps a lot, actually. It does clear out some of the issue. Oh, no. That could be bad. Ugh. Items. He guards a lot. He guards a lot, I forgot. My man really does guard. He's dead. Okay, good. Oh yeah, by the way, that 25% discount on Red Genie does end tomorrow at noon. So if anybody... Well, actually, wait. By the time this VOD goes up, will people even be able to get the game still on discount? Well, if it doesn't, if you need to wait to get Red Genie, if you need to wait for it to go on sale, November's autumn sale, it will go on sale again. So I recognize that it could be like, oh, but wouldn't you want people to pay full price for it? I'm like, no. If somebody wants to wait for it to go on sale, they will wait for it to go on sale. Patience is a virtue, and people are more than willing to do so. Like that is something I respect because I do the same thing. Like as a gamer myself, I do the same thing. You know, it's like I am not gonna like pretend that people are not just gonna wait for it to go on sale, you know? Because I do the same thing. Let's see, Fire Smash and... I think I'm gonna try Steam Blast. Is there a specific date for it? I might have to double check because I do know that it's... I do know the dates are on Steam, like on the Steam Steamworks page. I'd have to double check because I don't remember what date it is precisely, but I do know that it's a specific week. So I will find out, and I'll probably post about it when the sale goes live. I don't know if I'll do it early, but I'll probably post when the sale goes live, honestly. Poison Beam. And I'll have Blessed Heal. Whoop. But I think it's like the end of the month, if I recall. I think it's the end of the month. If I had to recall, I think it's November. It's like the November 20-something, I think. I'd have to double check though. It's near the end of the month though. I do know that much. All right, we got Nightcross and Devil's Heart. That's awesome. Warhammer, Dragon Fist Gauntlets. That's the good stuff. November 21st. That would probably be it then. If Steam's having its autumn sales then, it's probably gonna be then, because I signed my game up for it. And I think it will be like a slightly bigger discount at that point. It's the winter sale's the one that I'm like, the winter sale's the one that I am like gonna like, I'm gonna do another sale and it's gonna be really good. But I'm of the mind that, you know, it's like making it an occasion I think people really like it when it's like, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's on sale. People like sales. Okay, this is... Actually, you know what? I don't know how long this is going to take, because this part does take a little while, doesn't it? This part do take a while. Oh yeah, I just realized this is gonna be a part where I have to remember where everything is. I do not remember. But I do know that when it does go on sale, people are gonna really. I think everyone's gonna have a lot of fun with it. But I am also biased because I love this game, so I'm biased as heck because this game is one of my favorites because I love it. Oh no, Raven! Oh, he is deleted. Let's see. I think if I just end the fight, I'll be in a better spot. I think if I just do, where is it? Where I have to go down. I'm like, okay, wait. To remember. I'm trying to remember all my techniques and stuff because like, oh yeah, what do I have? I have a lot of stuff, so I think I'll swap to the hammer and so I can give Raven a chance to just heal herself. I always forget how to I feel like in my head I'm always just like, okay, wait a minute, do I actually know what I'm doing, or I made the game. Do I know what I'm doing? Now, I will say one thing. I did slightly tweak the final boss of the game near the end of development, and personally have not beaten it since that tweak. So I'm going to be a little bit surprised to see if I can do it still. Which may sound a little weird, but this is also just going to be physical proof that I can still do it. Actually, let's do... where is it? Earth Rupture. I'm trying to remember what... I'm trying to think. You know, I could just body... Actually, you know, I could just... Yeah, I could just body the wizard. Actually, wait. We have the perfect... Actually, let's use 2 whips. If I use whip, I'm pretty sure this man is going to get deleted by status ailments. Yep, I was correct. I think double whip, even if it doesn't do a ton of damage, it will do a lot of status ailments, which will give me some room. Oh yeah, that's good. That's the good stuff. The whip is king still. Oops. I don't know why, but every time I miss when somebody's prone, I always imagine that they just roll out of the way. It's like, oh, they're knocked on the ground, but I'm just gonna roll. Ooh. Well, this is going to be fun because I... Chronal energy here. Savannah theorize. Stuff can be stronger. We're going to make our stuff stronger. And I have to re-equip stuff after this because, yeah, this... I have to... really have to... Armors may have been unequipped to upgrade them. May be prudent to re-equip them. Okay, yeah, because... Yeah, armor. Time Walker armor plus. And the Black Pendant plus. It's like I could use the Gambler Soul, but I really like the Black Pendant plus, so let's see. Time Walker's armor plus. And we do have the white necklace, but actually I could go with now we have Sword Soul. We'll stick with it. It's pretty good. I think it's pretty solid. Alright, we're good. Good God, I forgot how big this place is. This place is like, it feels a lot larger now, realizing that I don't remember how it all goes, so. Oh yeah, this is the other version of the ball, Mystic Force. Trying to think of how to deal with this. Actually, I'll use the whip on the wizard and see if I can slap him. Oh, he's paralyzed. Good. Just stop him from doing anything. He does not get to play ball. Yeah. This is actually a point where I actually made a point to use the mystic ball enemy from the very beginning of the game for this part, because I knew, like, oh yeah, it's gonna be really good to use it here. Because this area, it's going to be really neat to see this enemy repurposed this way, because they are going to be a lot stronger. But if you remember it, because it, you know, it's like if you remember how they worked, you'll remember how to fight them. Because they visually are the same. God, this place. I do like this place a lot, though. If I could ever design this game to be a 3D game, like it's, you know, 3D spaces, I would love to see this place in 3D, because it'd be very cool. It would be very cool to me to see this in 3D. Ow. Especially with the nature of the weird spatial stuff around it, like the stars going flying everywhere. I think it'd be really cool to look at. I think I inadvertently made magic. I'm gonna just use Earth Rupture twice. Whoops. I kind of didn't think about that, did I? Oh wait, no, I used Tidal Wave. There we go. Hey, gauntlets, just beat him up. Good God, the damage. 3D is another level of game design, especially all the animations. That is probably the one thing that makes me really nervous about ever doing 3D, like a game in 3D, you know, just because I really like 2D games. I really like making 2D games because I can, you know, I can grasp that sort of thing, and I can grasp this sort of stuff. But okay, wait, I remember. I'm gonna want to heal here. I am gonna want to heal. If I'm not mistaken. Oh God, here we go. Okay. I know this boss fight, and I know he's gonna be tough. I already know. I already know him. Unnerving presence ahead. Do you wish to proceed now? Yes. There he is, the boy. Think tackle one thing at a time will work perfectly, though. Plan it out, work it out, and do it. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think if I were to work on 3D, I would really, like, you know, I would really take it apart and make sure I knew what I was doing. And that's true for people, like, I imagine people who work in 3D all the time are like, oh yeah, 2D is really weird for me. And it's like, yeah, it's because it's a dimensional difference. Also, I guess this is something that I might need to explain, because I think for some people, I think the hardest ending to get in Red Genie is the bad ending. That created this thing. You can get the ending that explains where this guy came from. And yeah, it's interesting because it's the hardest ending to get. Because you have to basically do one of the hardest things in the game, which is finding those candles. And then you have to go to what they open and then get the thing. Cassia Teo. I remember it's Cassia Teo. With the devil's essence. You know what's the worst thing is I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, human-sized enemy. This is the worst thing to ever happen to you. The worst thing to ever happen. Oh, human-sized enemy. Holy crap. I just thought about it. I really need to boost myself, so let's see. Oh, turn 1 Megiddo, I forgot. Oops. I forgot this man will cook. Which is worrying, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna try using the whip. Oh yeah, I am absolutely going to need to boost. I need to boost. God, this guy scares me. It's like, this enemy does scare me, and it's like, for good reason, because this guy is one of the hardest boss fights in the game. Because I know that at any moment he can delete me if I'm not careful. All right, I'm going to Ferrum Ventus right away. I do not want him to be alive any longer than I have to keep him. Let's see. Ow. The fact that that didn't kill him actually worries me. I'm just like, wait a minute. He is still fighting? In my head, I'm just like, that's not good. Holy shit. With magic defense up, that almost killed Raven. Oh my god. That was close. That was far too close. Okay. Wake into Chronal Magic, learns Fate Render and Chronal Flame, Regeneration. And there's a doodad. I'm gonna heal really quick. That was scary. Also making me worry that the final boss is going to make me really scared. So, alright, leveled up. We're gonna keep going. Oh, God. Okay, this is an area where I'm going to want to, this is an area I'm gonna want to explore because I know there's something I need to go get. I'm gonna go get that. Up we go. Oh, good God. That was probably the scariest thing I've seen in this game. Like, I am like yeah, like I said, one of the hardest boss fights in the game if something goes horribly wrong. Because holy crap. Also, I guess just interesting fact. I don't know if because I'm curious if anybody will ever find it. Because I think, Ben, I think you might have found it. The boss music that's used for the demon Darkwalker, the devil Darkwalker, that music is actually used in the secret boss fight that lets you unlock the bad ending. Which is probably why if anybody ever does the bad ending and gets to hear that music in those two different spots, probably gonna make them very sad because it's like, yep, basically the same boss fight. Which, considering the character is corrupt beyond belief, is very sad. Makes me sad, but it's also like, man. It's also really cool though, but it's like, man. Just like, man. Oh boy. I do like though that, you know, it's like, oh, human-sized boss fight. This is scary. It's like, sir, this is the scariest moment of my life. Oh, hey, this guy. I haven't seen him yet. Look how big he is. I do like I had a lot of fun trying to look into making these, finding what assets would be fun for this. So I feel like it's fun when you get to just go, just experiment with what enemy designs you want to use. This dude is just boosting everybody. Holy crap. Magic. Let's try Toxin Storm. Actually, wait, no, not Toxin Storm. Let's try... I have to look. Acid... I have to look. Let's try Serpent's Bile. I'll try Serpent's Bile and Earthquake and see what I can do. Well, that's funny. I just realized this guy's just boosting everybody. I appreciate him doing so, but also it's just funny. Technique. Let's see. Technique. Actually, we'll just use Spear. It's good. It's interesting how many times how many different stats I've hit him with. He has so many status ailments wrong with him. Holy crap. Okay, there's an item up there. I should probably grab it. I should be good and grab it. What is this? 4 large elixirs, 1 Phoenix potion. Chrono magic is way too particularly messed with. Let's see. Large elixirs. Heal up again. One thing that I have found with playing the game, you know, consistently over and over is, at least with, like, you know, normal ending, is that I think with normal ending, it's kind of like the curve works really well, like the math curve of how the game works. But I do think there's a certain point where if you're playing the game with the true ending, it's like the mathematics gets really interesting, because it's like, oh yeah, because it is different, because you enter a tier of play that the rest of the game never touches, which I think is fun and it's interesting. And also, it just does interesting stuff, you know, because I think the game it does different things when you get to this point, because the combat as you knew it is so fundamentally different. I really like that. It's interesting. Chrono plate armor. Okay, so this is an Easter egg that there's a sunshine strength needed, but it can be manageable by learning each enemy's weaknesses. Yes. And I think that also it helps that you're given the chance to get new equipment to raise yourself artificially before your levels catch up, which I think is a good thing. Also, this whole thing with Mercutius, this is an Easter egg I included for myself. And that's that Mercutius is a character that, oh god. Mercutius is actually a character that was he's actually in the book I wrote, which is just fun for me. It's just like, oh yeah, it's like, again, I'm grateful that I wrote this game and I made all this stuff without anyone needing to read that book. You know, it's like, oh, if you do, you get some Easter eggs, you get some stuff that it's like, oh yeah, you know about some stuff. And that's cool, but never required. So I don't want to do that to people. Spring of water, natural displace. I was way too much to be a normal prisoner. Did he ever say how I came to be here? Honestly. So going as his journal, he's the one who made the red genie's jar at the request of the god of fate, John or Seth. So here's the reason this all happened. This god put the Sphinx in charge. You know what's interesting? Janu Seth is actually an entity that in any other stuff I've done so far, I actually made him for this. Alrighty. So now I should be... Yes. I think both of them are really strong now. Yes. Alright, cool. So now we are very strong. The only thing that... And I think that by pushing the player to, like, oh yeah, you're going to be dealing with a much higher level, I think it's very fun because it means that the player has to adapt and, you know, overcome a much different form. Yay, another level up. So I think it's whoa. Whoa. How did I do that? No, escape. Escape. No. Ow. How did I do that? I've never done that before, so I don't know what I did. Go back. Can I? How do I exit this? Uh-oh. Hang on, gotta go back. Meh. Oh, hi. Zealous werewolf. I haven't seen you in a random encounter yet. It's been a while. Oh, he's dead. I do like that enemy a lot, though. He's very cool. I think I've just become very strong. There's a quarter unit. Yeah, right here. You know what's funny? There's another area of the game where that can happen, and it's the oh god, my brain just turned off thinking about where it is, but it's in the cave. When you're going towards Authry, there's a cave you can go in. There's an area you can do that, and I specifically left it in because I thought that it was fun. It's a fun little Easter egg thing that is just so silly. And the friend who did the testing for me actually was the one who recommended, oh, why don't you just make it so that when you go up there, there's just like the most powerful enemy up there, and that's what happens now. There's Reaper spirits up there. Oh, did you no clip out of reality? Well, here's the Reaper. Prepare to face the Grim Reaper. I need to remember where to go. Not this way. The little run is so funny. I just like the run. The little run is very fun. That was rhyming on accident, so oh boy. Does he drop special equipment too if you kill him? Yes, he does, but in that space, because the Reaper Spirit does drop things if you kill it, but it's a big if, because at the point that this cave is in, at that point in the game, the Reaper Spirit is so much stronger than you. He's basically just gonna instantly kill you if you get too close, if you get in there. But it's mostly just like, it's an innocuous little like, oh yeah, you can go up there and you can get out of bounds, and it's just funny. And it's just like, oh, it doesn't hurt the game because most people aren't gonna find it, you know? It's like, oh, and if you do find it, it's like, oh, look at that, it's still there, it's funny. I am a big fan of, if it doesn't hurt the game experience, you might as well just leave it, you know? Because it never hurts the experience, it just kind of exists. So I don't feel bad for leaving it, you know? It's like, oh, it's just a fun little thing. Let's see. I think I want to just use greater heal and heal up very quick. There we go. We're getting closer to the end, which is making me sad. A little bit worried. Love this place a lot, though. I think this as a final dungeon is really well done. I think I did a great job with it. It's a little, it is an endurance run, and you have to properly prepare ahead of time. You just have to be like as prepared as you can be, but I'm gonna leave the spot. But I do like that battle back, the background. I like that a lot. That background is probably one of my favorites, where it's just like, oh yes, the clock in the background. I think it's very cool. It's also a little bit unnerving, you know? It's like, oh yeah, this place is just the end of time. Look at it. But of all things, though, with this end area, in terms of balancing, I think I did all right. You know, it's like I'm looking at it, it's like, well, I think I did a pretty good job keeping it. I think the key thing is keeping it. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. So I think one of the toughest things is balancing the end of the game, because you don't want you or the enemy to be so strong that there's nothing, you know? It's like there's nothing to do. It's like, but we're even to stop regenerating. Oh yeah, that's right, that lasts outside of battle, doesn't it? Let's see. We have bandages still. There we go. Use the normal health potion. Oh wait, no wait, there's a thing up ahead, isn't there? People can grind levels if needed close to a healing gem. Yes. Which is, that's something I didn't, I also was thinking about. I did think about it when I was doing it. It's like, it's not a big thought for me, because to me it just makes sense to do that, where it's like, oh yeah, have it so you, if there's an area, if you need to grind, you should have the ability to do so here. You should be able to just do so, right? I want to mention it just because it comes to mind when I'm at this part of the game again. This stairwell, in my head, is very much the I did this in this fashion because of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, because of Arceus. I really like how this feels, because it's like, yeah, you are just going towards the final boss. This is your final challenge. Cannot return once you step forward. Are you prepared fully and without regret? Yes. If I'm not, I'm gonna get cooked. You've come here to the ends of time. Impressed you made it here. Battles have shown many flaws in my forces otherwise unknown to me. You know why we're here. Yes, to claim your frivolous wish. I care not what you come for. I'll simply go to the beginning of your journey and end you there. You're an idiot. I love that. You dared Salt. You know, going back in time now would be a waste of time. May not be me, but one of us will just arrive here again. Besides, you know just as well as I do, we're both stuck here. The time weave. Neither one of us can escape till one of us dies. Mere setback, but is there a reason to entertain your folly? Do you truly believe you can go to means of battle? If you're really strong enough to subjugate all of humanity, two mortals should give you no trouble. Insolence. Cassiateo, son of John or Seth. Self-righteous bastard son. Oh my god, I forgot the music. My brain is like, oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot. I also was thinking, yeah, let's have war drums. My brain is suddenly on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, my brain just went, oh yeah. All of the emotions you felt writing this music. All of the things you did. Now feel them again. I need to think. The sheer lack of damage I'm doing is kind of worrying me, to be honest. Holy shit. I'm gonna save my TP for, because I know what's coming up and I'm just like, oh god. Okay, let's do, I'm gonna try and do some setup for the later part of the fight, to be honest. I am setting up. Holy crap, that's not good. That's not good. That's really not good. Item. Should I have a Phoenix bottle? Yes, I do. Well, that worked out. Okay. I need to... I was not prepared for this fight at all. Good lord. I forgot Cassiateo is an absolute... He is an absolute monster of a fight. Oh wait, no, I have the... No, not escape. Magic. Revival wave. Should work, maybe. Oh god. Okay, Corvin needs to use a Panacea potion, and Raven needs to not die. Deflection aura. Oh, he's guarding. Absolute. Really? Man's just like, I can wait. I can take a turn. It's fine. It's fine. I'll take a turn. I'll watch. It's funny. Okay. Nope. I need to do something. Nightcross. Ow. I'm probably gonna spend like a good chunk of time just beating this dude. Okay, you know what I am gonna do? I have the technique. Where is it? I'm gonna do, where is it? Have it somewhere. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna use techniques to boost myself a little bit. He is very fast though. I forgot how fast he is. That's a crit. It is a crit though. Oh god. It's like in the back of my head, I'm just like, I was not prepared for this at all. I really was not prepared for this. How much attack does he still, how much health does he still have? Okay, large elixir. We're doing our best here. Oh, he has Vulcan Wave. I forgot. I don't know. No, I'm still just like, hey man, why is he is still going. Let's see. Attack, magic. Oh wait, no. Swap to, uh-oh. No! I think the game actually, oh no, I think the game broke. The game broke mid-fight. Yep, game broke. Oh, okay, hang on. Yep, game broke. Wah! Of all times to break it, of course, I had to break middle of the boss. Alright. Hang on. Sorry, guys. That's so bad. That's so bad. Man. And I know that one was just... That one was the, like RPG Maker just said, nope. Taking a moment. Okay. What I should do, though, is take that as a hint that I should probably go get another level's worth. Like, use other spells now. True. I will also, really quickly, I'm gonna go back here and... Probably a good idea for me to level up a little bit, because I was getting cooked. Oh, hi. Well, that's helpful. Yeah, that was something where it's like, I should probably go back and, you know, just like, oh yeah, I should probably go and like level up a little bit, because holy crap. I think I should go and level up one more time if I can help it. I feel like an idiot for getting cooked like that, but also I think I feel more bad that, oh yeah, we got to the boss fight and then immediately the game breaks. It's like, oh, man. I think I feel worse when the game has a performance issue, but I do know that these have been, like, I think what bothers me the most is that I know that this doesn't happen often. And I know that it's just like, oh yeah, my computer's just saying, nope. This is, you know what's funny? This is also why I genuinely don't know if I'd like to stream on PC more often. Like, I know it's such a weird fear of mine, but I'm not, I just don't like the idea of, oh yeah, I'm playing on stream and stuff, and my PC just craps itself trying to do both, like, stuff on OBS and the game. I probably should get an upgrade for my computer, but it's just like, well, still. Still makes me feel like, maybe. Let's see, where is Acid Wave? I always forget where Acid Wave is. There it is. Use Hurricane. I don't know if it'll do a ton, but throw it down. Yeah, this is this boss fight though. I do know that I do know personally that it's a tough one anyway, so just makes me feel, it's just kind of funny to me that I forgot how hard it is. Well, all right, I'll take that. Pay money, level up, or not level up, get stuff back. Let's see. Status, what do we need? I think I just need one more fight and then both characters will level up so I can... I'd like to go in a little bit stronger just because I honestly would like to have the power to deal with it. I feel a little bit the fool for not coming in prepared, but the fact that this entire time, this is the first time I've ever had to grind and it's only for a little bit is pretty good. At least in my opinion. Let's do Duskwave. There we go. And just one level up will make a massive difference, so it'll work out. I think that's one thing that I do think this game did well, is that because each level up feels like a legitimate change. It doesn't feel just like, oh yeah, you leveled up, good job. It actually feels like, oh yeah, you leveled up. It feels like, yeah, you are getting something substantial for leveling up. Because I think sometimes when you play some RPGs, it doesn't feel like leveling up means as much, you know? It's almost like, it almost feels like, yeah, you leveled up. You know, you kind of throw like a whoop-de-doo, you know? It's like, oh, yeah, you leveled up. It's like, well, I do appreciate that, at least at the very minimum, leveling up in this game feels like it means something. I think I'm gonna do Electromagnum, see what happens. Mix the spells, hit them. I do think I'm gonna lead. I think I'm gonna lead the. I think I am gonna lead the fight with. Oh god, it broke again? Okay, yeah, I think my computer's just not having it right now. Hang on. Hang on, my computer's just not having it. What is going on? Something is breaking really hard. What is going on? Steam client web helper. Something is really weird. Crash handler. That's weird. What is overloading my computer? Because that's a GPU issue, so what's going on? Something is overloading my GPU, and I don't know what it is. What is going on here? I think I saved, but also, what the heck? I think my GPU is just not having it. Something is going wrong. Performance, disk 2. Yeah, something's going wrong here. GPU. Are you okay? Yeah, let me go check. It's having some issues. Not any I can see, but it's having some issues. It is definitely not liking what... My computer is not liking whatever I'm doing to it. It really is not liking it. Oh. Do not want to touch that. Ugh. Okay. I feel like this is going to be the inciting incident for me making my... for me getting a better... getting some upgrades for my computers. Well, for my computer, but still. Oh, I lost my grinding time. Really? Wah. That's frustrating. Okay, I'll just go back. Yeah, I should have been saving more often, but... I'm trying to figure out what keeps happening that's causing the game to just kind of lose itself. Not really sure what's going on, to be honest. So I'm not really sure what it's doing that's causing this issue. I know there are ways for me to double check what's going on with it if something goes wrong, but man, I think I'm just sad because it keeps happening, and it's like, well, there's nothing I can do about it because it's just, oh yeah, if RPG Maker decides to just crap itself, it will just go. Not much I can do, you know? Yeah, you can hold Q and do that. It's very funny. What I might need to do is, once I finish grinding, I should probably save and then reset the game. Oh god, what the heck? This is one I haven't seen yet. Holy crap. You know, I could just spam that and Fate Render. Just go nuts with it. I just have to... I need to see this to its end. I love that you can just hold the confirm button and it just spins. Okay, I'm gonna save again because holy crap. I'm very curious what's causing the like memory leak, that it's like oh yeah, graphics, not, you don't get any. No graphics. So I'm not sure what the deal is, truly. Actually, I'm gonna use Chrono Flame and Fate Render. Oh my god. A million status ailments. Land of 1,000 status ailments, holy crap. There we go. Almost there. This is the game rebelling against me. It's like, no, you can't finish it yet. We don't want you to leave. The game really said you're not allowed to leave yet. I think I can do this in Serpent Spile and just see what happens. I feel like staggering him inadvertently caught. Yeah, because you can. Oh yeah, you can. I forgot that staggering cancels out like your opponent's next move, so it can just kind of stop your opponent from moving, which is very helpful. But also, holy crap. Need to stretch a little bit. I'm like, ugh. Okay. Really hoping that I can finish the game before the game finishes me. I do hope that for everybody who, you know, like who sees this, it's like, I hope that it doesn't dissuade you from playing, because it's like, oh, the game has issues. It's like, well, for some reason, RPG Maker just decided to make every time it has a memory leak my problem, so don't know what the deal is, but it does happen. And it happens, you know, it's like sometimes games just do that. It's like, oh, well. Alrighty. Let's try this one more time. Okay. We're gonna go through one more time to claim the wish. I want to beat the Sphinx. I want to beat Casilla as much as possible. I just want to win. Son of John or Seth, prepare to die. Okay. Let's do this for real this time. Alright, I am gonna lead with, let's see. I think I want to lead with a deflection aura. I think I want to lead with just having both of them put down deflection aura and hope for the best. Yeah, I'm going to want, because I remember he slings magic everywhere. Oh, that's right. Sometimes you can just nullify your own magic. I forgot. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna do this. I have an idea. I just realized something about that. So you can nullify your own magic. That's weird. That's very confusing. All right, you know what I'm gonna swap to spears so I can generate more TP so I can get more techniques off. Yeah, I'm already noticing a much bigger change. Let's see. Phoenix Crash is magical attack and defense. Yep. And Phoenix Crash. I'll just do Phoenix Crash twice so I can get some additional... Oops. That's unfortunate. Okay, I need to... I very much need to recover, so I'm gonna use recover. I'm gonna use... Where's restore? There it is. There we go. Okay, we're already doing a fair bit better this time, but still a little worried. Oh, he has Fate Render too, I forgot. Yeah. Ow. Oh, and that's right, he can't, because that's right, that's how that works. Let's see, large elixir. I think I'm just gonna spend this turn healing. I think I'm gonna use a no, I'm not gonna use the Panancia yet. Do not want to use that yet. Ow. Okay, this is fine. I am afeared, but I'm making it work. Okay, I think I can use... I have time. I can do... Rogue's Prayer. Soldier's Prayer. I think I'm gonna have both of them do Soldier's Prayer so I can... So that both of them can get high defense. As much as I don't want to spend time just recovering and just like boosting, I think it's necessary for me to stay alive if I'm gonna live. I need to boost myself a little bit. I think I definitely need to have Raven. Raven needs to recover soon, so I'm gonna have Raven. I'm gonna use Blessed Heal. Okay, no paralysis, that's good. This guy scares the crap out of me still. It's like this is a boss fight that my brain still says, hey, be worried. Be scared. Be afeared. Gonna keep using it, because holy crap. He is avoiding everything. Technique. Hummingbird Strike. Actually, Hummingbird Strike might not be a bad idea for both of them to do, so I can get... Because if I land it both times, then that'd be evasion on both of them, and they might be faster. They might be faster now. They are. I think they might be faster, but we'll see. Ow. Why did I know this? I knew this was coming, and my heart still sank when the music stopped. I was like, oh God. It's like... My brain just suddenly went into like, oh yeah, you remember. Okay, I'm gonna have them both use... let's see. Do I want to do... You know, I do want to heal really quick. I was correct to heal. Oh good God, my brain is now just like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Actually, wait, go back. I do know I can, wait, do I still have Soldier's Prayer? I have any better heals? No, I don't. Okay. Oh god. It's gonna stagger it, yep. Wah. No, wait. Oh god. That was very close to killing me. You know, actually, I should probably equip the mace. Soul Burst Recovery. Oh god. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. Ow. Okay. Very afeared. Crap baskets. Oh my god, he interrupted me trying to heal. I still got this, but oh my god. This man is faster than my items. So it throws me off so much sometimes. It's like, he is faster than items. I still got this. Soldier's prayer. Okay, you know what? If I use the spear, I might be fast enough to heal in time. Okay, I was correct. Holy crap. Yep, so the spear let me be fast enough to deal with him. Good God. Okay, and now Eagle Stance and Technique. I can use Chalabay. Oh boy. If I win this, it's gonna be a matter of luck. It's gonna be a matter of luck and hope. Okay. We're getting there. The fact that 2,000 damage, I don't even know if that's doing him much. It's just like, oh yeah, I am hitting him. You know what? I'm gonna whip. Oh my god, he's paralyzed. Yes. Okay. Good god. That worked out pretty well, actually. Okay. Ow. Okay. Let's see. What can I do? I think I absolutely want a Soldier's Prayer on both. Or... No, Soldier's Prayer. No, wait, no, I did it twice on the same person. Oh, no. Ow. Oh, well, somehow I saved myself from wasting that because Raven went prone. Oops. Okay. Okay, you know what I can do? I can spear, and then Blessed Heal on Raven. That might do damage. That might do a lot. Okay, no, we're good. Okay. We're good. We got this, maybe. Okay, and then spear into large elixir so I can heal. Oh my god. Why is this fight scares me. I made this monster. Never mind. Holy crap. You know what's funny about this? I don't know even why I bother with the experience. My brain just said, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. I'm gonna crank the volume here because, man, the music here always makes me a little bit misty-eyed, I'm being honest. Music up. I just want to share this because, man. Man. I feel like Time Walker just is a character that makes me so sad. It's like I wrote them and I know what happens, but I don't know, it just strikes me, you know? Okay. For now, I need to put that back down, but it's like, oh, oops. But it's just, I don't know. There's just something about this piece of music that strikes me, you know. I think it's because it's one of the most beautiful things I've made. And it's only at the end of the story that you get to have it. I don't know, it just... I think it baffles me that I made something this pretty, you know? Hello, Genie. Also, I guess just interesting thing that if you never heard the theme, you wouldn't know. The music that's playing here is actually the game over music, but it's modified because it has other stuff on it now. Also, I don't know, the Genie being a amiable type is interesting. I made the decision and it was just like, well, I find it fascinating that the Genie is so part of the story from the very beginning. But it's interesting though, because this game does play a little bit with, you know, predetermination and fate and all that, but it's interesting how much of this is, you know, it's like the decisions made were still theirs, but it's other people making decisions that they didn't know about. That's a whole thing of the whole thing with the family lineage. That's also part of the Hearthfire name. Like, there's characters that share the surname of Hearthfire, and they show up a lot in the stories I've written. So Your wish is granted. Farewell and good luck. And this is probably one of the most, like, for me, this is one of the most interesting things, just like plays the main menu music. Oh hey, the tutorial ogre that I did not fight in my playthrough, so. Oh. I'm not gonna talk to him, but there is, if you complete the true ending, there is a little bit of an interesting little friend you can talk to on the way out. But that is for you guys to go and do, not for me. Checking on the house. It feels very odd to see this ending again because I haven't seen it in a while. And man, strikes me. Also, I guess just fun fact, I did actually, like, these two, I probably am going to make them, their appearances, the parents, I am going to make them a little bit different sometime. But I don't know if it'll happen yet. And the little child. Child. But it's kind of funny because it feels like, yeah, this is the start of another story, but and it's just like, it's sad. It's very quiet here. Why am I getting misty-eyed? I've seen this ending. I think it's just because I know it's like I don't know. I just love this. I love the thing I've made a lot. So, I don't know. I guess it's just natural for me. So this literally is a 2-second fight because it's just 66,000 damage. I have never seen that high a number yet. That is awesome. But yeah, that fight's over. You know, it's like, because it's really just a formality, but apologies. Oh boy. Oh boy. Sorry, I'm just like composing myself. Oh boy. I'm proud of this. It's not perfect. Certainly not, you know, it's... I don't think it'd compete with some of the biggest hitters in the gaming genre, but I love it. I think I did good here. I did the best I could at the time. And I'm proud of the work. So, oh boy. Thank you all for coming by. And thank you for everyone for stopping by to watch. Whether in the future or in the present. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, and it's... At the end of the day, I'm happy that I made this. I'm proud of it. All the work in it. I did a good job. And I can shoot for even grander heights next time, right? So I'm happy that if nothing else, happy that every work I've made I look back on and I'm proud of it. You know, it's like, I think that's something that it's very easy to lose sight of. You know, it's like, oh, well, it's not getting numbers, it's not performing, it's not. But when you're really working just to make something beautiful, you don't really care. As much as, you know, it's like, because I work for the sake of making beautiful things and hoping that those beautiful things get to the people who want them and need them. So it's nice to still experience them and still feel the same emotions when I was making it. So. And thanks to everybody for suffering me doing this. So, yeah. Well, that's Red Genie. So if you are interested in it, it is on Steam and itch.io. The itch.io version, I have realized I need to go and update the itch.io version tomorrow. I might do that today, actually, while I'm thinking about it. Because I need to update it to the most current version of the game, so I need to update the game. Technically, it's on 2 separate versions, so I'll need to update that tomorrow. But it is on Steam. It will go on sale periodically. I do want to make sure that, you know, if people want, it can go on sale. But above all else, I just hope that if you go to play the game, I hope you have fun with it. And I hope that something there resonates with you. You know, it's like, I hope that maybe you play the game and you just, you know, it's just you lose a weekend to it and you have fun. And if that's all you play of it, that's just fine. As long as you have fun and you enjoy it, I've done my job. So, yeah, so I think that'll do it for me today. Probably should get some extra sleep. It would compensate for me being up late last time. Sunday I'll be playing Darkest Dungeon for the first time. I've never actually played Darkest Dungeon. It's been out for years now and I've never played it. So if you want to see me play that, they'll, you know, streaming it on Sunday. Looking in the future, Thursdays are going to become I'm going to play Tunic, which also somehow never got around to playing it. And Pokemon Stadium 2 starts next Wednesday, so we're starting a lot of new stuff, so that'll be fun. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the last Sunday of October. I might look for some more spooky games, something to do. If it comes out on time, I might do Dead Space Remake, but we'll play it by ear. So thank you all for coming by. And thank you to everyone who watches this in the future. Thank you to everyone who... Thank you to everybody. So, yeah. I think I will look for somebody to raid to, I think. I'm a little uncertain who's on still. Well, there's someone I can pay back. Yeah, I think I know where I'm going. Oh. I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye for now.